Hello? 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 Can you guys hear us? Are we here? Are we here? Oh my god, I got
Hello.
My god.
Oh.
My volume is screaming help. Turn that down just a little bit. Alright. That looks like a good volume. Alright, hey volume. Shannon!
Hi,
hey.
Shannon! How you doing?
How are you, my guy? Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Doing,
How are we
Shannon?
doing? Are we good
you
this
doing
fine
okay over there?
Are we good this fine night? Yeah, I guess
like
this
being
is
good.
Is this my first stream of the month? Now that I think about it, it sure is.
Yeah.
Happy December, everybody. So I'm a little jingly because it is spell season every December for 25 days, the first to Christmas. It is bell season, so if you hear a little bit of jingling in the background, don't worry, don't sweat it. It's me. It's bell season.
I'm not sweaty. What are you talking about?
I'm sure you were sweaty earlier at work. Now,
I was
Split
not
aside.
actually. I almost
Really?
got sweaty, but I didn't. Even though I was
wow.
wearing a heavy coat the entire freaking day.
Was it cold?
No, I just never took it off because I don't trust people to leave my stuff alone.
Ah. Why didn't you just leave it in your car?
Because that would require going back outside in the cold to go to my car in a grocery store parking lot where I'd have to park at the complete opposite end to get there.
Wow, this is crazy.
Fair
So
enough.
did you know today's episode 5 of Hear Me Out Tuesdays?
Is
Episode
it?
5 already?
Yeah, this is Hear Me Out, though. Episode 5!
Oh!
It's a good thing
Oh
it's not
my
episode 9
God.
Crazy. What's wrong with episode 9?
because it's episode 9.
What's wrong with episode 9?
Episode 9 is episode 9.
Give your knights a gun? Oh lord, can we give them shotguns? That could probably pierce through that armor. Okay, well, other than Tom's problem with episode 9...
I mean, Alex would know all about episode 9.
I'm gonna make episode 9 about you just to spite you now.
Hey, let's go. We just have a Tom Foolery.
It's called
podcast.
The Pros and Toms.
You see, he laughs a little bit too much sometimes, but it's like
But like
once
a
he
really
laughs,
cute
everyone
laugh,
else is laughing.
so it's fine.
Unless he's purposely doing a very annoying laugh, then it's not.
Then it's not
quite so
as
fine.
because my
Like
ears
especially when he laughs like this.
Well, that's not a terrible laugh. It's mostly when you go "Ah!" into the microphone that really hurts me. You're resisting the urge to do that right now, aren't you? Oh yeah, you know he is. So, guys, console or PC, little buddy, Synth.
What's up?
What's your opinion about consoles versus PC? I want to hear it.
Save me for last.
Where am I?
Lovely, very insightful.
Wow, what a brilliant
job.
start to the stream. I love it. Alright.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna have to make a new rule that you're only doing Pokemon streams at this rate. I swear. Okay. Nightly. The Taco.
Hello.
Since little buddy has claimed to be on top today, he wants to be saved for last. So what are your opinions on console versus PC, console pleb? Kidding. Love you, Nightly.
I hate how it's the Taco Well. I hate the ow.
Oh, that was because you fell asleep on stream?
Wait, I did?
Something like you fell asleep on stream or something last time. So I started giving everyone titles.
I call lies. I did not fall asleep.
Anyways, well, you were totally not paying attention and passed out. I just put the Taco. And that's how you became Nightly the Taco. And you can't do anything about it. Isn't it great? And it's forever on the stream for people to see with their eyes forever. So now you're always the Taco.
No, it's just Nightly. Don't listen to these lies.
The Taco.
The Taco
Nightly.
Wall.
Our Taco. There are many
The
Taco
Taco
Wells
Wall.
out there, but this one is ours.
Don't think there are that many taco rolls out there.
The Taco Wall.
At least
This
12.
is the Taco Lowest.
The Taco Wall.
I hate the. Okay. So
Taco
You
Well,
are
answer the
lowest
question.
of the tacos. Now
Oh.
tell me shit.
So funny enough, I actually have played on PCs before.
What?
And they're way better.
Yes.
And you liked
have?
it and regret not having one.
Actually, no. I prefer consoles more.
Oh shit.
So here's the thing. I've played on the N64. I've played
Okay.
on PlayStation, PlayStation
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. I've played on the Xbox One, the 360,
Mhm.
which I've played on a few other Xboxes. Cannot remember what the fuck they
Mhm.
were, but I know I've played on other Xbox.
Okay,
And
go on.
I've also played on Nintendo Switch, 3DS, played on PC before, played on laptops. I've played on
Playing your
basically
laptop.
mostly everything, right?
Right.
So, as you can tell, I have a pretty good say of different things. I personally, I think just controller is just better. I just like
Well-
to have a controller in
Well-
my hand more.
You can hook on a controller to a
Yeah.
PC.
Exactly.
Yeah, PCs
But
are very
but
dual
even then-
powered.
But even then, they need an Xbox controller. I hate
Mhm.
those
No, they
controllers.
don't.
No,
No,
you
like,
can
you
also
can use
hook on
a Switch
PlayStation
controller or a PlayStation controller.
Okay,
I want to
so-
go next.
And the thing is, here's the thing: PCs are good and all. They're really great and all. But what
Mhm.
about console exclusives? Because, dear lord, they got some good
Emulate
games.
them.
That
Yeah,
are
Emulate.
just
release them on
outright
PC.
better.
Problem solved.
But that's not the real game.
Huh?
But it's not the real game. You just emulate
Yes, it is.
I want to go next.
But it
Sure.
still
Hey,
plays
go.
the game.
Okay.
You just killed little buddy and brought him back to life.
it.
Okay, consoles versus PC, right? There
Mhm.
are pros and cons to the both of them. It really
Mhm.
kind of, That's what I'm thinking. I literally just had it. There's a term for it. Ow. So with console versus PC, you have two they're very different, right? It's kind of like asking, in my opinion, it's kind of like apple versus oranges in a sense, mainly because the pros to a console is that day one exclusives. Because with PC, not every game on consoles can be emulated on PC. So take Luigi's Mansion for an example. That's a very, really infamous one. 2 and 3 cannot be emulated on PC because the way the shaders are compiled, that Nintendo compiles them for the console in particular, they cannot be emulated. Well, they can be if you have like a heckin' ultra mega CPU. And not to mention as well, consoles are guaranteed. That game is guaranteed to work on that console. PCs are kind of a mixed grab because it's like, yeah, I could buy a PC for $50 and play games on it. However, that doesn't mean that PC is going to be able to play games like the latest Monster Hunter game or be able to play even basic games like Cyberpunk. And it's like, yeah, there are those one-offs where like a PS, like when Cyberpunk came out, they claimed PS3 compatibility. That was a train wreck. not every emulator, but even then, that wasn't even necessarily the console's fault. It was the developer's fault. And even then, that game also chugged on PC as well. And some could argue that when Cyberpunk came out, it was actually more unstable on the PC than it actually was on the console.
Huh.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have another funny thing to add to that.
Okay.
So, for someone who gets out a starter PC, right? You have for every new game that comes out, for every now and again, you have to keep upgrading your PC. Like every year or two, you got upgraded, right? You gotta get new parts. You gotta get this.
console too. You gotta get the new
Actually,
console.
no, you
New
don't.
generation.
Actually, no, because here's the
So
thing.
you can play Monster Hunter World on PlayStation 2?
No, but that's because it was never
Huh?
released on it. But here's the thing.
Oh, yeah,
For
duh.
PC, yeah, sure, a game is released on PC, but let's see, what specs do you need for that game exactly? What specs do you need for this game or that game? It's all different. And the thing is, you have to just keep updating your PC and just spending more money. Well, me, I just buy one PS5. Boom, I can play
Well-
any game on there that I want without any upgrades. It just automatically updates. I play that shit.
Yeah,
Or,
and when the
hey,
PS6
PS4
comes out and games
PS4
that don't
still
work
has
on the
games.
PS5, you gotta buy the PS6.
Yeah, but
It's
even
just
then,
like upgrading your PC parts.
but it's just more. You have to keep and getting more and more parts and replacing the parts and then repairing it and doing all these diagnostic reports.
Yeah, it's called
and shit.
taking care
You
of your
always have
stuff.
to do so much for your PC, but for your console, you don't got really do anything.
I will say though, with the
There's some
PC, the whole PC upgrading thing, typically if you build up a PC and you spend a lot, if you spend a decent chunk of change on your PC, it'll last you probably up to like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like with my PC in particular, right? Like I've been running the same spec. I will say I'm running the same spec. I run the same spec for about like 5 years, which is about the span of a
Console,
of a
right?
console.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say,
Mhm.
I do have a problem when it comes to upgrading my PC. The only reason I'm upgrading it now is because I'm gonna be giving away some old parts.
Oh,
Given to
Yeah.
no, they're mine. I already called dibs.
me. No! I need a new CPU!
But I will
You can have
say
mine.
You know what? I call double dibs.
though. I will say though, this PC that I have in particular, with the current configuration, probably would last me for a heckin' long time. The only thing is though, I will say, because that longevity of that PC, it ultimately comes down to cost. And it's ironic, because the whole reason why PC gaming was more viable than console gaming at one point was because it was just cheaper to get a PC than it was a console, which I guess technically still is the case, because a PC, like I said, can last you up to 10 years. I don't know about the longevity of consoles now, but when gaming on PCs were still kind of a niche thing, you could get a console, maybe get like 4 or 5 years out of it, compared to a gaming PC.
Tom, I need you to sit properly in your chair.
I am sitting properly. Gosh dang it!
So there are.
The camera is freaking out. Why?
There's also the
Turn it
Why?
off, then turn it back on, and it will fix itself.
I calibrated it earlier.
Oh, sometimes you have to turn them off and turn them back
Yeah.
on because they
Yeah,
go
I'm doing that.
sometimes.
Oh,
you're
I
big.
know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Continue
But,
on, guys.
Also,
I will-
I gotta say, UI for console is just usually better.
I was gonna say that's where console, another thing console does kind of grow in, is barrier to entry. So if when's the new episode? Oh. But the other thing of it too is the barrier to entry is just kind of easier on console than it is on PC, because with a PC, right, you gotta get launchers. You gotta know what platform is popular. You have to get. You have to know what kind, like I said, the specs of it too. You also have to know what you need in a PC. Versus a console where it's like you have one platform, one stationary platform, and you can either get discs or you can get a digital copy of the game. Which, in my opinion, is kind of changing on console, because now you have digital copies and you have physical media copies. We're in a weird place where the media is kind of differing.
The new PlayStation doesn't allow the physical stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Well,
I don't agree with.
PS5 does.
It's stupid.
PS5 Pro does not, which no one likes the Pro.
I'm glad
it's
that
because they wa-
PS5 does, because that's hopefully the one I'm getting.
Okay, so here's the thing. For PS5, there's two different versions that's not the Pro. One does actually take the disc, which both do take disc, but there's a difference. For the one that takes mostly disc, that one is easier to download the disc version and run the disc for like single player games. But if you want to download something, you want the other one, which has a higher download speed and everything. And
Look,
upload.
man, I got like a pile of PS4 games. A pile. Collecting dust, waiting for me to play them. Do you want to hear the list of PS4 games I just have sitting around?
Ow.
No. We don't have 5 years.
It's not that big. It's literally, it's not that terrible, but these were all my dad's. So we got Persona 5.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata.
Cyberpunk, XCOM 2, Dishonored Limited Edition, Uncharted 4, A Thief's
Oh, I love
End,
that game. You want to know the best part about that
Until
game?
Dawn. What?
You get to play Crash Bandicoot while also playing Uncharted.
That's kind of funny.
That's
Vampire with a Y. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yep, that one's pretty good.
And then Assassin's Creed Origins.
Ooh. Yeah,
Assassin's Creed
Everything
Origins?
other than the Persona 5 game are my dad's that he gave to me. I don't know what to do with them, considering that they're not my cup of tea, but I figured for Bad Gamer it would be interesting to start playing Cyberpunk.
I will say too, the other thing with console v PC, right, is
They're
it
harder
wasn't.
to mod.
That is-
Oh yeah.
I'll get into that. I'll get into the PC
Okay.
pros in a sec here. I believe me, I'm playing devil's advocate, but I'm also kind of playing both sides here because I see the plus in both. But it was once upon a time, PCs didn't exactly have drivers for PlayStation controllers. If you wanted a DualShock controller or something like it, you'd either need to buy an aftermarket,
Yep.
or you would need to have like a special driver, which even then those are kind of sketch.
Right.
What else can I think of? Pros that consoles have over PC. Like I said, I'm kind of playing both advocates here because I am both an avid console player and an avid PC gamer. Like for an example, today before I passed out, like super duper early, I was actually playing some PS Vita. I was playing some Banjo Kazooie on my PS Vita.
Oh.
I can love Banjo Kazooie. But yes. Now for the things that PC does have over console, if money is even then money if money is no object, like you could probably, if you know where to look for PC parts, you could probably build something that's easier to mod, something that's gonna have higher performance and will last longer. Like for an example, when I was building my cousin's computer, I think I spent so for the PC itself was about, I think I spent maybe like $800, if not less, to build him a PC that could stream, multitask, and do work on.
That's great.
Which is the thing that PC does have over a console, is that the overall utility of a PC compared to a console will always be higher than a console in itself.
Right.
Because you're not just building something that's gonna game, you're also building something that you also have the entirety of the you have the entirety of the tool set that the PC comes with. Like you have a browser that can be changed. You have launchers that can be changed. You can get different games, which I'm also gonna get into here. You can do office work. You can do school work. You could be productive on a PC compared to a console.
Yeah.
And as for the game library, well, consoles, specifically PlayStation, has way more exclusives on it. PC just has more overall. It has a more quantity of games. Like you can emulate, which is true. You can emulate. You can just play PC games. A lot of the more indie titles you're gonna find on PC compared to console, because at the end of the day, the indie developers, while they would want to get their stuff out there on console, it's a lot harder to license your game for console compared to PC.
Right.
Like, for an example, there was that's an entirely different niche in itself. But like say you piss off Microsoft with something, specifically Microsoft, that's notorious. They will actually ban you from their Xbox store.
No shit.
You will not be able to sell their game. Will sell your game on their Xbox store. Same with Sony. if you piss Sony off in some way, shape, or form, they will ban you from the store. In fact, if we all remember the Helldivers 2 whole debacle, the Helldivers dev team actually threatened to not put it in there because they were getting so much flack for it about needing a PlayStation account. They were gonna remove it, but Sony said, "You do that, we will remove you from the PlayStation Store."
Whoa.
From PSN as a whole. So they kind of had their hands tied with that. It wasn't up until Sony opened their eyes and realized, man, we're getting bombed on Steam right now. Maybe we should do something about it. Let's look at some of the reviews. Oh, a lot of people don't like the fact that you have to make a PSN account. That's news to us. Let's go ahead and revert our changes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's quite a bit of there's some perks of having a console. Like I said, the day one exclusives, the
Day one.
all the bells and whistles.
Also, depending on which console you go with, it's either more for the family or more for friends or streaming.
I mean, I think a PC is probably best for streaming. You know,
Actually,
like if you're
PS5
gonna. Well, I mean, yeah, you can stream to Twitch, but you can't exactly stream very well to Twitch. Like, you're limited in your streaming capacity.
Okay,
Well, on
you're
PC,
limited.
you can try stream if you want to, like we are right now. Have a VTuber set up, have a chat, have all your overlays. And
Like-
then you can just have a capture card if you're going to use a console.
So here's the thing. Even for PS5, right? It is limited. Yes.
Mhm.
But if I want to stream to YouTube or Twitch,
Mhm.
like, it's still there. And it's some really good quality. Like,
I mean,
it
I
still
will
gives
say
you-
it looked nice. Your stream did
Like-
look nice. But you can't talk or narrate or chat during it, and it takes away from the
Actually-
experience.
Actually, I can talk on there. I just
Yeah.
usually stay muted.
I would say you can talk
Like-
on there, but you can't hear the like if you're just on Discord or whatever, you can't actually hear the
So,
background.
If you are
Oh,
on
okay.
Well, there is a setting for PlayStation, which makes it so all of you are gone. This setting is for anyone who does not want to be heard, cannot be heard. Which
Oh.
means if you are on a PlayStation and you have that setting on,
Mhm.
anyone who doesn't want to speak cannot be heard, and I think that is the setting that tunes out all of you on Discord.
Oh.
Which is why I usually stay mute, because I'd rather not be the madman talking to no one.
Ah.
Because
Yeah.
Because due to that setting, it's keeping people who want to stay out of, out of a stream, out of the
Mhm.
stream,
Right,
keeps
right,
them
right,
safe.
right.
which is a really good setting to have
Mhm,
for
mhm.
people who don't want to be in the stream.
Right,
But it
right, right,
does
right, right.
mess with people on Discord who want to be in a stream, but can't.
Yeah.
I'd love to be in a stream.
You're in one right now, buddy.
Yeah, you're-
No way.
What?
I know.
When did
No
that
way.
happen?
I can't believe that we're all.
I know. Wait,
But-
Alex.
Yes, I'm Alex.
What's your thoughts? We've heard Nightly and Lil Buddy, but what's your thoughts, Alex?
I way prefer PC over console.
That's fair.
Simple reason is easier modding, bigger game library. I hate and despise console exclusives. Like, for fuck's sake, I want to play Bloodborne without spending hundreds of dollars on a fucking PlayStation first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
the
have a
other,
PC, it could run Bloodborne, but it's not on PC.
that's the
fuck
other
that.
thing that is annoying with consoles, that because they are console exclusives. Well, this isn't even so much a nick at PC or console. This is more so the developers, which
Right,
could be
right.
is the fact that they want to the game preservation aspect of them saying, oh well, we don't want piracy. That's fine and dandy, however, eventually people are not only going to reverse engineer the way your CPU architecture works and the way it's compiled, but they're also going to go ahead and actively pirate it because you decided to leave it on console and let it die instead of giving it to PC. Because at the end of the day, PC is timeless. in my opinion.
Yeah.
For now, until we have something that's better than
Mhm.
PC that we can play games on, which
Consoles die.
yeah,
PC doesn't.
exactly, and that's what
Which-
PC has going for it.
I'm saying this, if consoles need to continue in the future, they need to do something where we need to combine PC and just consoles. It should just be combined at this rate.
I'm glad you brought that up, Knightley, because that was my next point.
Yeah, that's literally because, like, here's the problem. My problem with the console wars, and I'm not including PC on this, the main problem with the console wars is Xbox. Shut up. But the problem is, like, Xbox and PlayStation rivalry for many years, and then there's just Nintendo over in the corner. But like with them for years, there's just been like cutting at each other's throats, basically trying to kill one another. It's like, we're going to outsell you to the point where you go bankrupt. No, we're gonna do this to you. It's just a problem of they make this game, they make that game. It makes the communities absolutely hate one another, which is a
Yup.
really big problem. Because if you ever go into a game where it's cross-platform, you hear a lot of problems between one another when they find out they're on another console.
But
But if you just let all of the consoles join together and actually, just work together and actually release good games and actually make good competition, it would be way better for the community. And once the consoles actually learn to play nice, maybe you could get PC into the mix.
Yeah, just look at Nintendo and Microsoft. They're starting to play nice.
well, did you
Not
know the
really.
original the original Xbox Series X was going to be designed to be partially PC? The early planning phases of the Xbox Series X, a lot of people were speculating, because the way the hardware was actually going to be panned out, that you were going to be able to dual boot Windows and the Xbox operating system side by side.
Ooh.
That was a really early plan that Microsoft was actually kind of cooking up. The only reason why they didn't go with it is because they didn't want to cannibalize the Xbox market for PC.
Oh.
But yes, once upon a time, there was going to be a plan where we were sleeping this again. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a
But
while back.
Yeah. But once upon a time, there was a plan to actually dual boot the Xbox. I'm gonna call it Xbox OS because it's exactly what it is, and Windows 10 at the time. But yeah, that would have been really cool if I'm being quite honest. Because imagine being able to have one simple box, like at your desk, where you could develop a video game and be able to then proceed to push it to the Xbox partition and be able to test it that way. And I guess
That
it is
would be
actually
so cool.
that would be really cool. And I guess it does kind of also raise a point too, where ultimately Microsoft probably also saw it as a consumer grade dev kit, because that's exactly what a dev kit is essentially. It's a modded I wouldn't even call it a PC really. It's more of a modded operating machine, if you will. Because there is sometimes some mechanical aspects to it. It's just essentially a modded PC that is partitioned to also run a proprietary operating system for testing and development purposes. But yeah, consoles are getting there up there with PCs.
Although-
Go ahead.
I do have one reason why console is way better than PC.
Why
Okay.
is
One-
console way
well-
better?
One super flex from the past, one ultimate flex of almighty power, the PS3 supercomputer.
That was actually pretty cool. I wish someone left that alone.
I have no idea what we're talking about
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't
Alright.
ever
So-
touch PlayStation.
So there was a
PlayStation 3.
supercomputer made out of
Who's
PS3s. It was made of hundreds of PS3s that were turned into the ultimate supercomputer. It ran better than any computer at the time, and then it died.
Yeah.
Well, then it
They-
died.
It got revived, but
Oh, they
then
fixed
once-
it.
yeah, they did fix it eventually, but then they made a new supercomputer.
Essentially what Sony did was they they advertised the PS3 to be this open, moddable, friendly console that ran BSD, which is something that Linux is based on. Fun fact.
It
Well,
wasn't
what-
hacked.
Yeah, and what happened was a university daisy-chained a bunch of PS3s together to combine their processing power to do supercomputer-like tasks. Because it's just Unix.
Right.
Well, eventually Sony pushed a patch out that forced all PS3s to update and remove the terminal access. Which,
Oh, right, which is what screwed up the supercomputer because you have to have terminal access in order to use it like a PC, right?
yeah. And then Anonymous got involved and basically said, Sony, you lied to everybody. So for that, we're not only gonna take you down, but we're also gonna proceed to push out a bunch of propaganda against you, and that's exactly what happened. Sony was down for like about 3 or 4 days by Anonymous because it's anti-consumer at that point. You advertise this thing to be open and moddable and being able to have access to essentially everything, having access to the root profile.
Well, the thing is, people were already trying to grab stuff. They were already getting a cyber attack, which is why they shut it down. In the first place, they released an update because they were already getting attacks. And then they got an attack for shutting the attacks down.
Yeah.
And this is why PC Master Race, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No.
You just hit the nail on the head there.
Oh my god. I mean, PlayStation does kind of... It's funny that none of us are mentioning Xbox here, because Xbox is basically just a computer. A lockdown version of Windows. It runs a lockdown version of Windows. Because everything that's available on Xbox is available on PC. So I guess the real contender, basically, is PlayStation versus PC in a sense.
And Nintendo, but we don't talk
Good
about the
night,
one in the corner.
Shannon. Have a fantastic day, night, or whatever your time zone is.
Gosh,
Right.
dang.
Alright, Tom, you haven't said anything yet.
Have I not?
I mean, not substantially.
Oh, I haven't?
No.
Well, of course, the PC Master Race is the obvious answer here because a PC can do almost anything that a console can do.
And more.
And more. Mr. Oh, but I like the feeling of the controller in my hand.
Plug a controller into your PC, you damn it.
Badoom. There you go. Oh, but there's the console exclusives.
Emulate them.
Just emulate them.
Oh my god. You can't emulate all of them.
If you want to be a
most
big
of
enough,
them.
if you want to be a big enough of a whale, you can emulate those.
That's not always
You
true.
could fuse a freaking console into your PC if you
I mean,
so
you can.
wish.
At
You
that point,
can
it wouldn't
actually
even
put consoles and put them in a PC and run it like that. I've seen it. Little buddy showed me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can, but at that point, you wouldn't really be gaming on the PC per se. You would basically having a console that's baked into the PC.
It is.
That'd be
You
kinda
have
neat,
fused. You just Frankenstein it into your
Nah,
PC.
they did the.
You
what's
have
the,
improved.
The big
Little
O.
buddy. Little buddy, you like Dragon Ball. What's the Dragon Ball thing?
Dragon Ball thing.
Dragon Ball Fusion?
Fusion. Ha!
Oh. I thought you were talking about the company that made the big O.
No,
Yeah,
the
the-
Dragon Ball Fusion dance thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's
But,
like they did that for the console and the PC, and they fusion danced into a console C.
I know what you mean. You're talking about the Big O. Essentially, the Big O is essentially an Xbox Series X, a PS5, and a Switch, and two PCs put together. The reason why there's two PCs is because there's one that's a streaming PC, and then there's one that's like a gaming PC.
Man, what I'd give for that setup.
Yeah, that's
tasty.
like, I think it's like close to like 20 to 25 grand.
Never mind, I want the Yada figure more.
Oh my god.
But the Yada figure's only $500, okay? And you know what? I'd keep that thing forever.
Yeah, and I mean,
You don't understand my addiction to Yotter. My husbando, my lovely husbando, I love him so much.
yeah, and it's like I said before,
I'm a
PC
dollar.
PC got the utility behind it,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
console has the but console got the simplicity behind it.
I feel like in UIs, console definitely got it. It's usually easier to navigate a console than a PC because a PC is meant for more than just gaming, you know? PCs
Yes,
were never
that's
really
the,
meant for gaming.
That's where I was
That's not
also
true.
going to go before the
Mhm.
conversation kind of diverted.
Sorry.
But you know what that actually means?
But you could do so
PC
much
got
more
more
with a freaking
utility.
console. I
Yeah,
mean, you can do
PC
so
got
much more
more
with a PC.
utility.
Oh.
Sorry, but I got my words jumbled for a second. But yeah,
Okay.
PC has way more utility, way more options, way
Mhm.
more literally everything
Mhm.
than a console could ever possibly hope to attain because it restricts itself to being solely a console. That's the whole point of the console. It's like if these companies wanted to make a freaking console that's also a PC, they could. They just don't
Mhm.
want to because they wouldn't be, making anything that's going to people are going to want to, rebuy over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to have the latest freaking console even if it costs $700 and does nothing new.
You know, I kind of like the Steam Deck for the purpose of it being like a 1 to 2 purchase buy, you know? Like, you only gotta buy a Steam Deck once to twice, because they don't come out often, and their new one ain't all that much updated, and it's basically a computer console.
Yeah. And going off of what Synth was mentioning earlier is that, like, I was using the same parts for my PC, and mine was pre-built. Like, I got mine pre-built, $700, and it ran almost perfectly fine for 4 years straight before I had to, replace something because it went shot.
Exactly. Like, PCs are built to last, and it's like I said before. I can English, but it's like I said before. If you got the coin for it, you are better off with a PC because
Right.
while it does cost more, it will last you a lot longer in the long run, and it is customizable.
And you can always upgrade it as you go.
Exactly.
Yup.
And that's why I always
in the
say
long run, it's cheaper than a console.
exactly, and that's why I always
Yup.
say console's a good barrier for entry because if you're just getting into video gaming, and you don't want to spend $1 million bajillion for a PC because prices are expensive, and if you don't know where to look,
I
you
mean,
will be spending a lot of money.
Like I said before, it's like, I spent $700 for my pre-built PC,
Right.
and these people are wanting to spend $700 on a console that does really
will say go
nothing
PC.
new than
All the
the
way.
previous one. It's like I'd rather spend $1 billion kajillion on a PC than spend $1 billion kajillion on a console.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm going to get so
Absolutely.
much more out of a console than so much more out of a PC than I ever will with a console.
That is true, and that's why I tell everybody who wants to get a PS5 Pro, because it did meet a couple of those rare individuals. They're like, "Hey, I want to get a PS5 Pro." I'm like, if you look at the benchmarks to the average PS5, which is $500, and then if you look at the PS5 Pro, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro aren't all that different, especially when it comes to like performance. And if you're gonna spend all that money on a PS5 Pro, you might as well go ahead, spend like maybe $50 more, if not a little bit less, on a PC, and just go ahead and start scouring things for like Cyber Monday, which I did tell somebody, and I'm pretty sure they did end up getting a PC. But I told them that I'm just like, ultimately, the PS5 Pro costs $700, and a lot of people might think it's a deal. It's not. At that point, you might as well either A, get a regular PS5, or go ahead, spend a little bit of extra coin, and get a PC that'll last you way longer.
Alright,
And
little
it's
buddy,
upgradable.
here's something. The the graphics card upgrades, right? Those cost about the price of like a Switch, and you gotta upgrade them about as often as the new Nintendo consoles come out. But they cost about the price of
Really? Isn't that
Nintendo
all?
consoles. So what's your take on the graphics card? The lifespan, what it's worth getting, all that stuff. Because graphics card do tend to go out of date faster than a console. But at the same time, I would like to say graphics cards also have enough oomph in them to last long enough to make it those 5-6 years so you upgrade it. What's your take on it as a computer nerd? How long have you been using this graphics card you have?
This GPU actually, I bought this. I'd say I've been using this GPU. See, we're in 2024 now. I bought this in about 5 years or so. And in this computer upgrade, I'm not even gonna switch out the graphics card because it's just that good. Now with GPUs, I'll tell everybody, if you don't got the coin to spend for the latest and greatest graphics card, there's nothing wrong with getting a last gen card, and here's why.
Right.
A lot of people in the PC market and industry tend to think, oh, the newest graphics card's gonna come out. They treat it like an iPhone. They treat it like the moment the new thing comes out, the old thing's gonna stop working. No, it is not gonna stop working. Just because the newest 5000 series cards from NVIDIA are coming out doesn't mean the 4000 series, or hell, even the 3000 series cards are gonna stop working.
I think I have a 3000, don't I?
Dude,
Yes, you do.
I'm still using a 1070 Ti.
Exactly.
My graphics card is not an issue at all. My issue is my CPU. That's outdated.
Yeah, actually,
Right.
that's my issue right now. My CPU,
But it's
I believe, is
also
my problem,
almost
but my
been
graphics
8
card's
years
fine.
since I bought the PC.
Oh wow, yeah. I've had this PC. I've actually only had this PC for 2 years, and this PC has given me nothing but problems. But it is a pre-build.
Yeah, and that's the other thing of it too, is that barrier to entry also comes into that as well. You could get a PC, you could spend a massive mountain of money on a PC, but if you don't have that knowledge, that background, or somebody
you can
who
get
does that,
trash.
You can get
What
trash.
sucks is that my father looked it over and was like, yeah, it's Asus, they'll be fine. And then I was like, I don't know, Chief. But it was for my husband at the time. Ex-husband now. But it was for him, so I didn't really care what he got. All I knew was that he was getting a PC for himself. So, he got the PC, decided to give it to me, and I've had nothing but problems with it.
Yep. Doesn't matter the company.
And then
Trash is still trash.
And then my dad got my mom an Alienware, which we all know is owned by Dell now, so it's like, oh no.
Every company is capable of making trash, just like every car manufacturer is also capable of making trash. At the end of the day, trash with a little bit of paint.
Volkswagen.
Oh my god.
Hey, little buddy. What's a Radeon RX 76,000? 7600?
So an RX 7600, that is an AMD card, and it is one of their lower to mid series cards that are made by them. That's last generation. So currently we're in the 7000 series cards for AMD. 6000 series was a last gen.
Yeah,
card.
this is 7600.
7600. Oh, 7600. 7600X.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's a mid tier card. That's one of their lower to mid tier cards that are currently this generation. It really depends on which version of that card you're getting. If it's an aftermarket card, really look at the reviews. Actually, no. If it's a reference card, look at the reviews. But yeah, there are some pretty decent ones of those out there. Like for an example, there are some that are made for overclocking. There are some that are more expensive than they should be. Yeah, it's an alright card. I mean, I know someone that has a 6700X and 6700, and they love it. And that was last gen. That was last gen card. But yeah, they're pretty alright cards. Now, if I will say this much, this is a rule of thumb, and I tell everyone this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the current is with the. I don't know the current state of the AMD drivers on Windows.
Right.
If you're getting an AMD card, it's a gambit. When you're getting the card, what version of the drivers they're on, and how good they are. Now, if you're getting an NVIDIA card, by all means, no complaints there. If you're gonna run only on Windows,
Right.
the drivers are up to snuff. They're pretty decent cards depending on what card you get, and as long as you take care of it and you don't overclock it too high, then you're fine.
Right.
Now,
right.
if you're gonna be running Linux and you get an NVIDIA card, don't, because for people who are just building PCs, right? You have two main contenders for the graphics card space. You have AMD and you have NVIDIA.
Right.
NVIDIA, you're gonna get if you're gonna game on Windows. They're good for streaming. They're the golden boy when it comes to gaming on Windows. Now, if you have if you want to experiment with Linux down the line later on, I'd recommend getting an AMD card, because NVIDIA and Linux don't exactly mix well. They're working on it, and AMD cards are typically they're plug and play for Linux.
Right.
But yeah. As for your question, the 7600, you said XT, or just Radeon RX 7600?
It's just the Radeon RX 7600.
They're pretty decent cards. Maybe they're good. Maybe the one, because it's kind of like is it an aftermarket card? Is it a reference card? That's a lot of things that are good with PC and also bad with PC, is that while it is fully configurable, you have to really pay attention to what kind of card. Look at the reviews of that card in particular that you're looking at before go ahead and buying it. That's a rule of thumb for anything you buy, though. Always look at the reviews and keep an eye on those stars. Or eggs, if you're getting it on new egg.
Right.
Egg waggle waggle.
Yeah. But
So-
as for the... Go ahead.
So I mean, the PC versus console wars, is always a confusing topic, because when you really get down to it, the nitty gritty, it's like PCs for people who wanna think. Like, I was talking to my father at the table, and he told me he'd pick a console any day over a PC.
Oh.
That
I
actually just
know.
kind of makes sense, too.
My dad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a skill issue if you ask me.
What's his reason?
His reasoning behind it was that he tinkers with a computer all day long for work. Why does he want to tinker with one for gaming?
That's the other of it, too, is that if you work with
If you-
computers...
Yeah,
It's
if you're
just a common
constantly working with computers, it might just be easier to pick up a game on a console where you're not tempted to do every 500 other things your PC can do.
Exactly.
Like, as
Okay,
someone with 4
but-
screens, do you know how much I'm doing at once on an average day?
Yes, because you're productive.
I'm not
Well-
very productive, but I do
You're-
have
you're-
3 things open at once.
Sometimes it also could be a thing of it, too, is that
Mhm.
while... yeah, you have all those things open at once, sometimes you just want to relax and pick up a console. Like, me personally, I will say this much. Whenever I just want to play a game, and I'm like, you know what, I really don't feel like sitting on my computer doing updates, things like that. Because I do a lot of preparation on my machine. Then again, I run Arch, so... but there are times when, I just want to sit down, I just want to pick up a game, and I don't want to be bothered.
Right.
Same for the people that, have a dedicated music device. I have a dedicated music device. They just want to unplug from the world, unplug from the internet, and just pick up a game and play it. Compared to, picking up a game... Now, if you're playing, a multiplayer game or whatever, typically I'll hop on my PC and just, play multiplayer that way.
Yeah.
Because, I have Discord, I got the game, I got other things running in the background. Things that I might want to, have open. Now, if I'm just playing a single-player game, unplugged from the world, and not have to worry about anything else going wrong, console games typically have a lot less moving parts. Just pick up... My 3DS, for an example, I'll pick it up, say I want to play Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts, really good game. Sometimes I'll play it on the 3DS instead because I just boot up my 3DS, I click on the game, and it's just simple. It just plays.
Yeah, I mean, I have games I do on my 3DS only. Sometimes I'll be sitting in call though and be like, oh man, I want to show everybody this game I'm playing. So it's like, I don't know, it's hard for me to separate like call from zoning. I don't do it very often.
No.
Yeah.
Here's something sad for both consoles and PC, right?
Yep.
When, say for instance, a game dies, or a community dies. Say for instance, for COD in recent times, there was a community which made it free for people to play. They basically, as long as you had Modern Warfare, right, the new Modern Warfare game, as long as you had it, you could get it modded, so you could go play, which you would have to buy the game first to get the mod, which is what you would have to do. They had an entire thing where they revamped the stats for weapons, add some of the older weapons, and add map. Basically, all they were doing was making the game better. You know what COD did? Shut them down.
Oh wow, I love it.
Basically put a cease and desist order on them. Basically
Skill
said,
issue.
you can't do this. Which they did that both to the console version and PC, which is absolute bull. Or say, for instance, with Nintendo. If a game dies, it's dead permanently. Like, if they remove it off of the store, and you did not get it, it is gone. And if you go to pirate it, and they find out, you are in mass amounts of trouble. And it's just wrong. Say, for PlayStation. If a game dies and there's no way to get it, then they'll also go after you. And it's just... Why? Same thing for some PC games as well. If a game just poofs out of existence, and people try and get it again, sometimes the owners of said game will go, oh hey, no,
Oh, hey?
do not do that.
And it's a big problem.
Like, it makes no sense at all. If people want to play your game and they're doing it, if they've already bought the game and they're doing it for free, why not let them just do it?
And that's why I tell everybody, right? They're just like, oh, well, like, so which is better, console or PC? I'm like, ultimately, they both... I kind of look at the faults more than the positives of both, only because at the end of the day, if you don't hold these companies liable and accountable, exactly,
Right.
then they'll keep doing things like letting people buy a game just to remove it from your clutches later on. And their whole thing is, oh, the licensing states that you don't own this game, that you own the license to it. It's like, but at the end of the day, I bought it.
Okay, well, if buying a game isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I tell
exactly.
everybody. I tell
Plus-
everybody that too.
If a company just decides to no longer sell a certain game and there's no more way to get it, what's wrong with pirating it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, they won't make money from it anyways anymore.
Like, the reason I bring this up for console is I was looking on PlayStation recently, and someone brought something to my attention. If you go to PlayStation and you look up Minecraft Dungeons, and then the Minecraft Dungeons will pop up. You look up Minecraft, it will pop up. But if you look up Minecraft Story Mode, it does not exist.
Right.
Minecraft Story Mode was not profitable for PlayStation anymore. So what did they do? Remove it.
Got rid of it? Yep.
Yeah, you cannot buy it anymore. The only thing you can get from it is the season, which is the second season. Which, funny enough, you can't even do that because it says unavailable because you don't have the game.
Exactly.
Wow.
But you can still buy it.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
It's really
just
scummy.
awful.
That is scummy.
Actually, no, Synth, it says unavailable. You can't buy it. They at least blocked it. It's like, if you don't have the game, you can't get it. They at least did that.
I know they were doing that with The Crew for a bit, which was another live service game that was recently discontinued.
Right.
What would happen would be, it was still costed, I think it was like $10, $15 on Steam, but every time you launched the game after you bought it, it would just say, it wouldn't let you connect to anything. And because it's a live service game, you can't play it at all, period, end of discussion.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
But it was still being sold, and how much you want to bet they were still profiting from those sales?
Definitely.
Oh, that's so scummy.
Yeah, I'm no dummy. I know how this shit works.
Yeah.
That's so scummy, but I'm a dummy. I know how it works and all its quirks.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
and like I said,
wow. Just why for both PC and consoles?
it's like I said, I always tend to look at the negatives before I look at the positives of both of those. Not because I'm necessarily cynical when it comes to video games, but because if you don't hold these companies accountable for their misdeeds for both console and PC, then they're gonna keep getting away with it. And eventually, if it happens on one platform, it's eventually gonna happen on the other. Because if you look at the whole digital thing, that was a thing on PC first when Steam came out.
Right.
And at the time, it was seen more of a plus than it was for the consumer than it was for the company, because it's like, oh, okay, instead of going out to the store and waiting in these massive heckin' lines, I could just get this game, boom, download it, and it's right there on my machine. Versus, like I said, waiting in these massive lines. And then consoles saw it, and they're like, we could easily do this and make it to where if they buy it on one console and then that console gets discontinued and then the other console comes out, you're gonna have seen, oh, I enjoyed playing this game so much, I'm gonna buy it again, and then just play the same thing, just maybe even revamp the graphics. Who knows? We'll see how much we'll see how much we want to spend and how much out of our bonus we want to take out at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's something else that drives me nuts about these game companies. Is like, why not, port your
Make a new
own
game.
games
Yeah,
to
that too.
be able to make it playable for other people?
They used to.
Like imagine, Donkey Kong 64. That's a great game and all that.
On the Switch.
Yeah, remake it for the Switch or port it for the Switch. If you remake it for the Switch, that'd be fantastic. Like, just make it HD Donkey Kong 64.
Also, that's another
That would
thing
look
that-
amazing.
That's another thing that absolutely fucking pisses me off.
Wait, I have a question for Synth.
Okay.
So this is from a viewer we know. The question
okay.
is, ask Synth if he remembers back in the Stone Age when you got a Windows PC, you got the Microsoft Suite in its entirety with the install, no annual subscription bullshit. Actually, wait, forget Synth. I remember that. I've been using a computer since I was like freaking 5. All right, I've been
What's
playing
it
like
called?
Mickey Mouse games on it. All right, I remember that. Synth,
It was
you
called
must
Microsoft
remember.
Essentials. Microsoft
Yeah!
Essentials, yep.
Remember when they had a Windows Movie Maker?
Yes, Windows Movie Maker, Windows
Oh my
Live,
god!
Windows Defender.
If Windows Movie Maker was still around and like free, I'd be using it to edit my videos. Are you kidding me?
Technically, it still is.
Yeah, but it's not good.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is still is available. It's available in the Microsoft Store. In fact, that was an option in our tech class. Our teacher would be like, "Hey, if you don't want to spend money on a video editor, and you don't want to," and then he put his hands up and put in air quotes, "spend money on a movie editor, you could always use Windows Movie Maker." Then again, he was a Microsoft shell, so
I have Adobe Premiere. So.
I use DaVinci Resolve now. But Windows Movie Maker really did prepare me for DaVinci, you know?
yeah. And when he
My
put
problem with Premiere right now is that it's just kind of being weird. Like, it still works, but you can't see any changes you've made until you hit the play button again.
Well then, why don't you just
So, like,
switch over to DaVinci? That's free.
Well, because I freaking know how to use Premiere and I already have it.
Actually, before Rose switched over to DaVinci, like I recommended,
I
she was
using
using.
Vegas.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, like I don't know anything else, and it's like, yeah, it costs money, but I have it and I'm used to it. I'm like, try DaVinci.
Well, I
And
had it for free because my boyfriend at the time gave me access to his that he wasn't using. So I was like, Yoski broski, yeah, I'll take it for now. And you know,
I'll
when we broke
Fallout
up,
that New Vegas.
I obviously stopped using it. And I was like, well, I guess I'll try DaVinci Resolve, and it turned out to be the better program and even more intuitive than anything else I've used so far.
Yeah, she was
And
worried.
the little videos on it, on how to use it, are so, like, fast and easy. It only took me an hour to figure out how to green screen.
Yeah, she was worried because she was just like, well, I mean, because at the time she was still using it, she's like, yeah, well, I'm scared I'm gonna get booted off, and then I was like, why not try to binge? She's like, oh, well, I'm used to this one, and I'm like, what problems do you have with Vegas? And then she'd tell me, she'd be like, well, sometimes it would freeze, sometimes like it would have like little issues with glitches, and I'm like, I'm telling you what, give DaVinci Resolve for like one video. Try it using one video, right? And see if you like it or not.
And I
And then
loved
she
it.
was just like, loved it.
But I didn't really have a choice anyways, and it turned out to be great. I mean, it's a fantastic open source free software that I can't help but love. I mean, you can pay for it if you have the money, and you can do a bit cooler stuff, but I just need to green screen a couple things, throw in some explosions, you know, clip some stuff, zoom in on things, and throw some objects around, which I can do all of that for free on that program, so it's very nice.
And it's
I
cross-platform.
can do that.
Well, yeah, but VTube Studio is such a pain to get working on Linux.
Oh, I'm talking about DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, yeah, but I'm telling you that's the reason why I'm not switching yet. Until VTube Studio and NVIDIA get its shit together on Linux, it just doesn't make sense with my VTuber.
Well, I will say the NVIDIA stuff
Uh-huh.
is kind of working.
Yeah, I
So,
know it's starting to
you're
get
kinda
there,
working.
but you're working on my nerves. Anyways, I'm kidding. You're dying. But NVIDIA is, I know NVIDIA is getting there, and I know YouTube Studio is probably working on getting cross-platform, so I'm not entirely, like, worried. I'm more, like, waiting, which is why I'm gonna turn the PS4, when you come down, little buddy, into, that Linux machine with Mint, so I can learn it.
And to give you
What
an
if I
idea
learn
where NVIDIA is with their progress,
Mm-hmm.
they may or may not put an NVIDIA Tegra chip in the next Steam Deck. It's all rumor. It's speculation right now.
Ooh.
But we may or may not see an NVIDIA Tegra chip in the newest Steam Deck. Which, fun fact, is almost the exact same thing as the Switch has for their GPUs, but except they want to put a custom version of that in the Steam Deck. Something that's more powerful and way more battery efficient.
Custom version of that in the Batman.
So, what would we call a Steam Deck? Is that a computer or a console or a hybrid
It's
of both?
It's both, which is perfect.
It's
Honestly, I think the Steam Deck's been one of the best inventions I've seen. Yes, little buddy?
I would say it's more. It's a PC with a special with a special UI. I think it's called GameSpot. It's a program you can get on Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I wanted to, I could essentially turn my desktop into a Steam Deck with just GameSpot.
What's a hybrid pad?
A hybrid pad. I mean, I guess you could call it a hybrid pad. It's basically what the Steam Deck is.
What does that mean?
It's a mix of both. it's a mix of a console and a PC. And the reason why I'd say it's more of a hybrid pad is because it is a gamepad, and it has little touch pads on the side. Which, fun fact, are touch pads from a laptop.
Oh.
Yeah. So
It's like a laptop console?
essentially, without the folding action. And the
Okay, that I can get behind that. I mean, the Steam Deck feels great to use. I like Linux so far. My only problem is that I need to upgrade my SSD, my solid state,
Again.
because in the Steam Deck, because there's not enough space for Baldies, and it's causing it to crash.
And what's amazing about the Steam Deck compared to most handheld consoles is that that Steam Deck that I gave you actually started out with 64 gigabytes of storage.
Yeah,
It was the cheapest.
Yeah, you can upgrade it.
Yeah, it was the cheapest Steam Deck that you could get at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'll get this. And when I inevitably fill up the storage, which was only 64 gigs, I'll go ahead and I'll purchase a new SSD. Which I looked up which SSD in particular that the Steam Deck had, the exact one, and I bought it, and I just upgraded it myself. And I think that was like an additional. When I got it on Black Friday, it was an additional like $90, $80.
Little buddy, for Christmas next year, because you're gonna visit in October. For Christmas next year, let's upgrade my Steam Deck.
Okay, we can do that.
That'd be the most fun gift ever. Because we can do it together. I'll be crippled, but it's okay because your hands work.
And
I'll
teach you how
watch.
to do it.
Your hands work. At least one of us can do it.
Yeah, we can do it together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what pains me right now, right?
What?
Because I love Ratchet and Clank, right?
Right.
But they have all the Ratchet and Clank games on PS4 and 5 right now, right?
Right.
There's one problem.
What?
You can't buy any of them.
Why not?
You have to have PlayStation Plus Premium.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's
I
the
can
only
get
way.
them all.
Yeah,
You
only
could.
with Premium.
I have
Which-
premium.
Yeah, then again, I'm not paying for Premium. I would love to outright buy the games. And or can they freaking remake them, please? Because some of them need major updates.
I could see eventually Sony porting them all over to PC. That'd be so much fun.
Please.
Okay,
Please.
Nightly.
Hmm?
I've decided I'm spending money on you for Christmas.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Actually,
What?
wait. Little buddy, do you have a PS5?
I do not have a PS5.
Do you have a PS4?
I do not have a PS4.
Why did you add Nightly on PlayStation?
Because I have a PS Vita.
Ah,
I have a PS Vita and I have a PS3. But the PS3 servers have been long gone. So
No, they actually live.
they live?
Yeah, some do.
I
They
modded. I
can't-
was gonna say I modded
Okay,
my PS3.
so
So,
for PS3. So PS3 used to be able to connect to 4. It can
Mhm.
no longer connect to 4, but
right.
the servers do live for
Okay.
some games. Not all of
interesting.
them.
Some
But for a very few games, they still live. But they are
Oh.
not living for long. They
That
are going to
reminds
die in,
me
like,
I bet.
years.
of a certain port problem to PC from a console game to PC port.
Right.
Hey, Ubisoft, if you're hearing this, your Assassin's Creed game is still trying to connect to a server that no longer exists, and it keeps freezing the game every
You wanna-
minute
you wanna know the
Thanks,
for like
worst
2
part?
seconds at a time,
You wanna know the worst part?
and
I had
you
the
haven't
same
offered a
problem.
way to fix that.
Like I had the same problem with my PS2.
Ooh.
I'm not joking. So the PS2 had Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 on them.
Mhm.
Funny enough, you could play with other people on it.
Oh
Like,
no.
they were online games, which was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Mhm.
But the problem was the main game modes that I loved, which was Galactic
Mhm.
Warfare, which was one of my favorite game modes, which was your entire goal of Galactic Warfare was to take over the galaxy as a faction. So
Right.
say for instance, you play as you start as the Separatists. Your main enemy is of course going to be the Republic.
Mhm,
If you
mhm.
start as the Empire, what's your enemy gonna be?
the
rebellion.
rebels.
Yep, the Rebellion. So what I'd usually start is as the Separatists and take over the universe. But every now and again, it would go, trying to connect to server. Server
Oh,
does not
no.
exist. And then it would just break.
Ah!
In Galactic Conquest,
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Galactic.
wait. You guys
So
want?
much fun.
You know what's bullshit about consoles?
What?
And kind of just games in general nowadays. No Wi-Fi, no game.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I hate that.
Like,
Oh,
why? Why? If I
Connecting-
buy a console, like, if I'm
Yes.
buying a console from you people, I don't need Wi-Fi to play your fucking game. Like, I bought your
That's what
game, I
drives me
bought your
nuts.
console, let me play it. Okay, why am I paying for Wi-Fi on top of my Wi-Fi? Like, if I wanted to just pay for Wi-Fi, I'd play on my computer. Where I'm already
what drives me
paying
nuts
for
about
the
playing on the
Wi-Fi
Switch.
connection. Right? Because you have to have the Switch plan. Like, thankfully, I have, like, my married couple friends. They're married, but they're my friends. Both of them, separately. I met them separately, and they became my friends separately, and I introduced them to each other, and then they got married. Not the point. They thankfully pay for my Switch subscription and won't let me pay them back because they know I'm broker than a Joker. And, let's be honest, that Joker card doesn't make money. It sets out a lot of card games. Alright, so I am broke as a joke. Alright, all my jokes are broken. And so they pay for it. It's only like $7, thankfully. So they just shake their head at me every time I try to pay. They go, no.
I'll shake my head at my head to make
But,
my head pay.
Without that, my Switch should be half useless. Yeah, I don't even have like the special Switch premium plan. I just have the give me internet access please plan.
Oh my
And
god, I
it is
hate that
ridiculous.
so much.
It was ridiculous. It's like $20
Yeah,
a
why
year
do
for
you
that
have-
shit.
Why
Okay,
do you
so
have
here's
to
the
pay
thing.
for that on console?
So here's
That's
the thing.
so dumb.
Yeah, that's
For
so
play-
dumb.
So here's the thing. Here's the difference
Mhm,
between
mhm.
Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation, which is why PlayStation is better than all of them. For Nintendo, the only way to play any online game is to pay for the online subscription. For basically Xbox, it's the same thing. For PlayStation, as long as it is a free game,
Mhm,
for as
mhm.
long as it is a big game that is free and or some that are bought,
Mhm.
if it does not say PlayStation Plus required, you can play it online as much as you want. As much
Right.
as you want. No problems at all. You don't need PS Plus as long as it doesn't say
Uh-huh.
PS Plus required. But for the others, you do need their subscriptions. But for PlayStation, it is technically optional. You don't have to pay. And on top of that, guess what? For PlayStation, as long as you have some friend which is connected to your account, as long as one of you has PlayStation Plus, the other one doesn't need to pay for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there is basically a family plan without there being a family plan. You can't have too many people connected. You can have at most like 2 people with you.
See,
so,
that
if
makes
you
that
were-
makes like
so, like-
2 people total on it, or 2 other people. Other
Does
than
it
you?
cost extra
other.
money to do that?
No.
You
So
sure?
here's the thing. So if someone gets something like PlayStation Plus Premium, right?
Mhm.
I will have some of the features from Premium, not all of it. So I won't have the super catalog of games, but if that person gets a game, right?
Mhm.
I can steal that game for a little while.
Oh,
Just yoink it. Just mine now.
You know
how
what
long
makes
can
Sony
you
a
steal
lot
it
of money?
for?
Oh, for as long as they have it. For as long as they have it, you have it. But once their plan runs out, gone.
Huh, that's
What
why
would-
you lost all your games, huh?
I lost everything.
What
No,
would
the
make
worst,
Sony?
the worst part is I own some of those games, and it glitched and made them PlayStation Plus games instead, and it was a glitch that did this to me. So it's like, I own these games, but I can't play these games.
So, Nightly, if I added you on PlayStation Plus, would that fix your problem?
No. Well, I would have to make you the main operator. Is that how this works?
Would that
But,
fix your problem?
Well, yes, but I'll deal with it myself.
Oh, I was
Well,
about
make-
to say, if you want me to fix your problem, like, I don't mind,
No.
Ski. I'm not even paying for mine, my dad is. Thanks, Dad.
Uh,
Now, I'll
What
go
would
to
make
what,
Sony?
Sam?
what would make Sony a whole lot of money, a whole lot of money, is if they made essentially if they made what Xbox has, which instead of Game Pass, you would just have a PSN launcher and be able to play your games on PC.
Yeah,
That would
but
make- that
that's
would make Sony a lot of money.
shitty. I got the PlayStation pass thingy for the PC, and none of my games worked. It was shitty as fuck.
That's a thing.
Like,
you can
yeah,
actually just
The launcher was broken. It wouldn't launch my games. They'd
On
all
PC?
glitch. Yeah,
that's a thing.
it broke.
No,
The-
PlayStation doesn't have
Oh
a
no,
launcher.
not the PlayStation. I'm sorry, the Xbox.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
no.
I was
Game
gonna
Pass is dumb.
say,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Game
I'll-
Pass, the Xbox Game Pass broke like a joke. It was terrible. It was
Yeah.
a joke. It was the
I'll-
punchline because I punched it in the face.
I was gonna say because Sony has a specific hatred towards PC. Like I was about
Yeah,
they
sorry,
don't
not
even-
Sony. I meant Xbox. I got my consoles confused because I don't care about consoles.
Okay, because here's
Except
an
for
Atmos.
Nintendo.
Atmos, right?
Nintendo.
You have the mobile app for PlayStation app, right? You cannot get it on PC. You cannot. There is no
you-
PlayStation app for PC.
Well, you could get it on PC, but it'd be real hard.
Oh, it's hard. I've been trying for a long time now.
Oh
been
no,
using
your
every
PC can't do
software.
that. You'd have to emulate a phone environment on your PC.
I
and
would.
then get the phone app to use it on your PC in your phone emulator. So you'd be doing an emulation within an emulation, most
emulation.
likely, which will
Yes.
probably
That'd be
blow up your
hilarious.
PC.
Yeah, because my poor laptop can't handle that. Because
No.
here's why. Because someone said they were going to text me at a specific time. Problem was, they needed to get a response back quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I was in school, and I was like, "Please, any way possible, please, 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 any way to get to the PlayStation, anything." And it's just like all day. Nope.
I will say though, the scenario you guys are describing,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds like something that is possible. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Emulation of emulation.
Yeah.
So there is a thing you could get. You can create a virtual machine with something called Android x86.
Uh-huh. Well, actually,
Android-
that is what you need for a PlayStation app. Is an Android.
Android x86 is a version of Android that you can run on a computer
Wow.
and in a virtual machine. Now
Mhm.
imagine if you did something called a GPU pass-through, which essentially you take a graphics card and you pass it through to a virtual machine, aka that basically means that the virtual machine, i.e. Android, would be using a graphics card.
Right.
Which means, in theory, you can technically play PlayStation games on PC with a virtual machine of Android using a GPU pass-through. That sounds like a project I might. That sounds like a project I might want to pursue.
Oh no.
Funny joke.
That sounds like something I might want to do.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I get GPU pass-through up, I can create a virtual machine for Android, give it its own dedicated piece of storage, and
Mhm.
start playing some PlayStation games on my PC natively using the Android app.
Oh my gosh, wait, you could have the best DS emulator too. Jurassic.
Yeah, that is also another thing I can achieve
It's
with
in
that.
the Play Store. You should grab it, my guy,
Okay.
and tell me how it goes.
So you're telling me what the play here is to get a super strong PC. That way you can emulate an emulation within an emulation, so you can emulate the emulator with an emulator, and be able to play any game that you could ever possibly imagine.
My PC can already
Yeah.
do that, funny enough. So yeah, I can do it. And because I'm running Linux, the perfect virtual machine operating system, my computer is designed for this. It is literally born to use virtual machines.
Mm-hmm.
Linux. You know what? This
Proud
should be
sense
called.
noises.
This podcast shouldn't be called PC versus console. It should be called the reason why the Linux Master Race War just works.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Linux Master Race. Heck,
To
the
be
PC
fair,
Master-
even Linux ran on PS3 at one point. Like,
That's what
I don't know. Linux can't run League of Legends.
You
I
mean
mean-
garbage?
you know what? No, that actually, you know what? That's
Actually,
a
no,
flaw.
wait, yeah, no,
That's a
yes,
flaw.
yes, it can. Actually, I forgot they actually updated that a couple years
Oh,
ago.
they can run Linux.
Yeah. I
I forgot they made it accessible to Linux now.
I'm
There's
glad
actually
you
an
just
entire-
took my hit to one of your game obsessions. Just like, yep, that's fine.
There's actually an entire subreddit dedicated to running League of Legends on Linux. It's called League of Linux.
League
A
of
League
slash-
of Linux.
r/League of Linux.
I'll Linux your league.
I want to burn
I'll
it
league
down.
your league.
But yeah,
Really now.
I did get a League of Legends at one point running on my PC because at one point in time, I did have a couple of friends. They're pretty alright, I guess. And
Also-
they were just like, yeah, you should really play League. I think you'd like it.
Never.
You just need to play with the right people. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. Eventually, I caved and I decided to play with them. And they went from my friends to some of the most toxic individuals on planet. And I'm like, you know what? I'm never touching League again. And since then, four years later, still haven't
It
messed
corrupts
with it.
people.
It does, Tom.
Also, to that comment that popped up a while ago that I just noticed, medieval fantasy with a gun is called Army of Darkness.
Hmm
Yes, the boomstick is the mightiest weapon of all. Boomstick.
Am I the mightiest weapon of all?
No, you're a fool.
Okay. Well, what about the chipmunk fart lasers?
See, now that's a mighty weapon.
I'm sorry, what? Also,
Shit.
Tom, my tail's in your face.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You have to say that. Thanks.
Chipmunk fart laser.
Good lord.
Aliens? I have so many aliases for this.
I love the chipmunk fart laser so much.
Yes, it was
Speaking
the
of-
greatest thing that we've ever
Speaking of,
created.
the one who actually made that was me.
Yes, I know.
Which
I know the story.
Tom made the sound, but I'm the one who accidentally created it. I made mistakes. The mistakes were made.
So, Knightley, how does it feel to be wrong?
Wrong
Oh my
about what?
god.
Clearly, I've never been wrong about anything, and if I was, what was it?
The consoles.
Oh no, consoles are still better.
I was gonna say, ultimately, it kind of depends. It really depends on your use case and how much you're willing to go into the gaming
Although-
rabbit hole.
Here's the thing: when it comes down to Xbox versus PlayStation, though, no, fuck Xbox.
I was gonna say, yeah, my honest opinion. Any game you can get on Xbox, you can get on PC. Therefore, it doesn't make it really all that special.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, people love the controllers for Switch and Xbox. I absolutely despise them with a burning passion. I love the touchpad of the PlayStation more, and I just love the layout better.
Wait, that's
where
a touchpad?
Yeah.
Yes,
You didn't know that?
No,
it's a
no
touchpad.
idea.
In fact, you can even swipe on it on a lot of games.
Oh,
To get
I
to the
hate
map?
it.
It sounds like a
what?
waste of time.
Like,
Totally.
so for PlayStation, if you're on a game and you want to get to the map quickly, you can swipe left, or if you want to get to your skills quickly, you can swipe to the right, or like swipe up or down. Like, it's really good. Or if you hold
could
the
just
button,
press a button.
I like pressing buttons.
Yeah,
Buttons
but
are
also-
so satisfying. I
also
would
like
very much prefer to press a button than have to take a hand off of the controller to reach the touchpad that's all the way in the middle.
it's not even that far away from the
It is
joystick.
so far away from the joystick.
Like, I don't know how long your thumbs are.
Well,
I
I'm
have
triple
big
jointed.
hands though, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm triple jointed, so I do actually great. So, because here's the thing, if I just aim the joystick down, I can just swipe like that, just aim and swipe.
Okay,
Like, if
but
I-
have you
if I
considered just
aim
pressing
up
a
to
button
aim.
instead?
Yeah, but here's the thing. If I'm going to do that, I'm getting a modded controller with buttons on the back.
Oh, I have a regular controller with buttons on the back.
Yeah, I
Man.
want back buttons. I want them now.
I got two. Well,
I
three,
want
I
one.
think. I got an auto thingy.
Me want. Me want
It's a
back buttons.
Bluetooth Switch controller.
And I will say the
I
thing
love
the
it.
thing with it
It has cherry blossoms.
the thing with it too is that I don't know. I've always kind of liked the whole swivel and swipe thingy because I use that a lot on the Steam Deck. Actually, I find it to
Oh,
be.
really?
Oh yeah. Like when I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront,
Mm-hmm.
the with the PSP emulator, because
Right,
let's
right.
be honest here, I actually catch myself using it quite a bit. I've got it down to a science actually, where I
Huh.
can snipe things and I can use a little swipe thingy on the side, and I just swipe, I hit down at the right time, and I just boom.
Let me know how you
got it down
get
to the
Kid Icarus working on it.
Like-
That's another thing I'm excited to do too, because
Also,
it acts like a touchscreen. What's up?
for a game like Terraria, right? Which you can zoom in and out for your character, but the only way to zoom in and out is to go to the pause menu and then zooming in and out, right? That's the only usual way. But on PlayStation, you can use your little touchpad and like zoom in or out using the touchpad for Terraria, which is really great and handy if you want to get to the map or zoom in on the map or leave the map and zoom in on your character. Or if you want a very specific like area of zoom in, you can just zoom in on the touchpad or zoom out. Like I'll put it like if I want to go to the map quickly, I just zoom in and then zoom out. Really good.
Huh.
The touchpad is actually like really good on PlayStation.
Hey, Nightly.
Yeah.
Do you know what you can use a PlayStation controller on?
What?
On your PC.
And guess what? You couldn't used to.
Can now.
And even when you couldn't use it back in the old days, I bet there was a program within the first 10 days of the controller being out
So
that would allow you to use it on your PC.
there was, however, the only issue with that being
It
the
was
only issue
sketchy.
it was actually kind of sketch, and the reason why that is because the only real way to get things like that working well, I should say, keyword well on Windows, is you have to add a registry. Now, keep in mind when you add registries, if you add a sketchy registry at all, in any way, shape, or form, you could compromise your entire PC beyond. You would be better off reinstalling Windows than going through and changing that registry back.
Oof.
So that's why I say it was really, really sketchy, because the nature of adding things like that to Windows is very, very heckin' difficult. Now on Linux, it just kind of worked way before. It worked way before Windows even got it working. So, yeah, they had it down to a science.
Yeah.
I love
But,
science.
Also, like, another good reason for PlayStation Touchpad is you can use it to combine with other buttons. Like, say for instance, you have a game with a lot of buttons, like Terraria, for instance, which you have a lot of customizability. For instance, for Terraria, I have click right, top bumper. So right one bumper, right? So click right one bumper, and then click square. That buffs me. Click right bumper, X. That heals me. And so on and so forth. Or if I wanted to do something, click touchpad and move, like, little thumb pad, right? Or swipe and thumb pad. Like, there's a lot of customizability for it. Which is just really good compared to Xbox. It has one less button on it. And even then, the touchpad counts as like 5 different buttons because you have a up swipe, a down swipe, a right swipe. Actually, 6 because the zoom in and out basically. So you got the left, right, and all that
Yeah,
up,
but
down.
have you just
got the
considered just
tap and
pressing
then
the
zoom in
button?
and out. Fuck
Have
that.
you
I
ever
didn't like-
considered a keyboard? In
Yeah,
No, I don't.
keyboards
I
are
actually
great.
don't like a keyboard. I
You can
don't
you
like
can use keyboard and mouse on
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 Terraria
PlayStation.
on PlayStation.
And on-
Mhm.
yeah.
Here's the thing,
console's
I've
got that
tried.
too.
I've tried to use keyboard and mouse on PlayStation. You don't like. I
Eh,
don't like.
Skill issue.
Your skill issue.
Skill issue.
You're a skill issue.
Skill issue.
Although, here's one
Skill
problem
issue.
I have with PlayStation right now. If I want to take a screenshot, right,
Mhm. Mhm.
I cannot get it to Discord.
Mm.
I have to theoretically send it to someone else with a phone, and then them
Huh.
send it to me. After all,
Do
like,
you need my phone number so you can share screenshots nightly?
no,
Er-
I have. I hopefully I can still send it to him. I think I could. Like, say for instance, like the last screen. That was funny. I clicked on it the first try. This is the last screenshot I got out from my friend. That was the last one.
The last one.
Hmm.
Because the only way to get screenshots or videos from console is through the app. I don't have the app.
Mm.
Skill issue.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I feel like consoles are getting there. They're slowly getting there. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, but as fast as they're getting there, the freaking computers are already doing better.
there's a market for that.
Oh.
It's called Apple fans.
Mhm.
Yeah, but no one likes Apple.
Well, the thing is,
No,
console.
Apple fans do.
So here's the thing:
No.
when PS5 came out, right? When PS5 came out, it caught up to the PC market at the time quickly. It was basically at the same state of the art as some of the best PCs at that time.
Mhm.
PC then rapidly got past PS5, but
Mhm.
at that time, it did scare people on PC on how big PS5 was. It
I
will
caught
say
up and
That
took
is
over.
true. That
Like-
is true.
It gave
I say-
Alienware and a whole bunch of other shit the biggest scare they've ever had in their lives.
Well,
They
let's
went,
not talk about Alienware. It's owned by Dell now.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, Alienware isn't exactly.
not the best example, but like but that was a big PC thing at the time.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was. But at that time, Alienware was big. And a whole bunch of other just PCs went, oh god, they got us. They actually caught up and they look either equal to what we have and or better right now. What do we do?
I will say, as somebody
Just
who
keep
was
doing what PC does.
Yes, it is true. I will say, as somebody who was who was interested in both, who is interested in both parties. When I saw the PS5 and like I saw the initial specs and what it was
God of
capable of,
War.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, console's catching up. This is gonna be interesting because at the end of the day, and another reason why I don't fanboy over either or is because the competition is good between both of them. Because one, it makes consoles look a bit more enticing,
Mhm.
and two, it also goes ahead and it lowers prices and computer components down for PCs, especially for the gaming market. Because you'll notice something as you get into PC building is that there's a big gimmick in PC parts, and I hate them with and I hate this gimmick with a passion, is that a lot of companies tend to add the word gaming in front of a lot of things, and then they bump the price. And I'm like, what is a gaming motherboard? What does a gaming motherboard do different that a regular motherboard doesn't do different? What do? They both deliver power. They both allow you to attach components to them, and they both do the exact same thing. They both have a BIOS. What's the difference? What is the difference between a gaming motherboard and a regular motherboard?
Well, you see,
It's a
a
big-
gaming motherboard has gaming right before it. Therefore, it has two words, so it's better.
It allows me to have a rave inside my computer case. That's why it's a gaming motherboard.
The craziest thing, though,
No,
that
that's a party
happened-
motherboard.
Party motherboard.
like the craziest thing that happened when PS5 came out, right, was God of War. You could see every tiny little texture on Kratos. Like you could see the tiniest little beard hairs. You could see every little hair on his arm. Like people were freaking out on how like
God of
how
War
much
in
it
itself
caught up,
is a great looking game.
like how much it caught up to PC and surpassed PC at the time, actually, with the graphics of just Kratos alone. And they're like, well, what we gotta do? Upgrades. Upgrade everything.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
And then what did like PS5 do and Xbox came out with more updates as well. Came out with more controller stuff, came up with even more stuff to catch back up again. Cause like, hey, they couldn't just automatically make a new console, right? That would be stupid. But what did they do? Make better controllers. Make better this, that, just to catch up. And it's been working. Till recently with a whole bunch of debacles.
You are hunting deer
I mean,
in the direction of deer.
I will say some games tend to get updated on PC more and faster than they do on console.
It takes
And
more
if you're
delicate
on-
work.
If you're on PC, you can do. You might even be able to get the alpha builds of some games that won't come out on console for like a couple years.
So here's the thing. There is actually a company who talks about this a lot. Redigit, which is the makers of Terraria. There is a reason for that. First, for Terraria, they are on everything. And I mean everything. They are on it all.
Right.
The reason they
Are
have
they on
so
my
much-
phone?
Yes, Terraria is on the phone. It's on everything.
Are
So,
they on my brain?
It's fun.
So Terraria is currently trying to release on every version, they're going to update it all at once.
Oh,
Everything.
wow.
One big update, right?
Mhm.
The problem with that though is they need permission.
Yes.
They will go to mobile. They will go to every app store on mobile and be like, hey, we need to update this. We need to update it now. Can we update it? The people on the app stores will then do a screening. They will check all the updates. They will go through it, go, this is good, this is good, this is good. We don't like this. Change it a little bit, but good. Do this. Then they can update that. But the problem is, they then have to do those changes and then return it again and be like, now can we? And then they go, yep, can do. You have to release it during this time though. And then they release it
No,
during
wait,
this time.
no. I actually don't like that one change right there.
Yeah.
You need to change that to
And
something
then
else.
they have to do the same thing for console. Then they have to go to Xbox, be like, hey, we want to do this. They do that. They finally get the update out. They're like, hey, wait. You have everything prepared, but we want it updated at this time. You go to Sony. Hey, we got it all done. Give them in. They say, yep. Well, we want it updated at this time. That's the main problem. But with PC, you just hop on the Steam and be like, hey, Steam, we're doing this.
Yep.
Here you go.
Just update it.
Here's the update. Bye.
Yeah.
And Steam's like, yeah, there you go. All good. While for everything else, it's way more scrutinizing, which is the main problem.
And it's not even so much that the consoles themselves are underperforming when it comes to updates. It's always the manufacturer of that console that causes them to have to hold back.
It's not even just the console either. It's mobile that's even worse.
Mobile,
Like,
yes, way worse.
Now,
Now, it's so bad that oh my god, if you're dealing with mobile, right, and because they are on everything, including Apple iPhones, Apple is so restrictive with their stuff. Like Google Play, well, they can be a little tedious, like with their screening and their update process. Apple is 10 times worse. Way worse because they're so locked down and restrictive with their stuff. Like, it's so bad. In order to make an Apple app for the iPhone, you need to have a Mac. You can't compile Apple source code on a Linux machine or a Windows machine. It has to be a MacBook.
What if you use a
Virtual machine?
yeah.
That's why virtual machines exist. See, because it has to be compiled on macOS. It can only be compiled on macOS. Yeah, that's why Hackintosh and virtual machines like that exist. That's why that application exists. Because a lot of people want to compile and develop for iPhones because it is one of the larger platforms, but you need to have macOS in order to do it. But they don't want to pay the Apple tax, so... Yep.
The Apple tax. The Apple tax.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Plus, another thing too with the PC updating thing is that all PCs run on the same CPU architecture, which is x86, because x64 doesn't exist anymore. But x86 is just kind of that's what every PC runs on. Now, when you have consoles, you have ARM, and you have a specific version of ARM, and you have to make sure that console runs it, and things like that in nature. Where just PC, typically you can just uncap the compilation, and it just kind of works.
Right.
Versus console, it's a really, really special case with their hardware. Like, you saw what happened with Cyberpunk. Project CD Red didn't take that into account, so the moment it came out for all these consoles, none of it worked. Especially the PS3 and the Xbox One. Oh my god, that was a train wreck. It got to the point where they couldn't even optimize it anymore, and so they just said, you know what, we're not supporting these consoles anymore. You could have your money back and keep the copy of the game, but these are not supported consoles. Yeah, that was a time. I remember when that came out. I was watching the amount of copium that all these console owners were having, because I followed Cyberpunk since like its inception. Like when the first OG trailer came out, they swore that they were gonna have these console compatibilities. Didn't matter how long the game development was gonna take. Which they, in a way, they kept to their word.
We have a city to burn.
Yeah, they sure did burn down that city. They sure did. They sure did singe some bridges.
And then the anime came out.
I haven't seen
everyone
the
felt
anime.
And they
Is
declared.
the anime good?
From what I understand, yes, it's very good.
It yet, though.
I haven't watched it, but I find it funny that they wanted to remove Rebecca. And they said no, the lolly stays.
The lolly must stay.
Even though she's, not by, the general definition of everyone of what a lolly is.
No, she's not a lolly.
She is lolly
That's
in the generalization that she is petite, but she's not a
petite,
child by any means.
A grown ass woman.
Yes.
A petite grown ass woman, but a grown ass woman, guys. Calm down, calm down.
I remember when I was a petite grown ass woman once.
Oh lord.
Crazy.
You were a woman once?
I was crazy.
I was.
Oh no.
Alex is like, no, David. What have I been
He's
doing all
having
this
the
time?
dumb flashbacks.
Nah, the Tom.
I was a chick in the 40s.
He's having the dumb crazy
Crap,
flashbacks.
why? In any other circumstance, you might have had a point there. However, my boss is a woman, I was a chick in the 40s, I hate everyone equally, and there is no one on this planet that could possibly comprehend my sexual preference.
What's your
So
sexual
in other
preference?
words, Miss Van Winkle, check your privilege.
Okay
But the whole PC, the whole
PC.
console war thing. I don't know. Like, my
It's
viewpoint on it.
pointless.
Exactly. I
just
view
get
it,
a
broken
PC.
pencil?
I view it as, at the end of the day, we all need to come together and put these companies in their place. That's how I view it.
And just buy a PC.
Sony, Microsoft, PlayStation, hell, even some of the PC manufacturers are notorious for it. Like, did you guys hear what happened with the NZXT stuff recently?
Hello.
Nope.
So NZXT is a PC manufacturer, and they had this program for rent a PC, where you would rent a PC, and you know, you pay for it monthly, and they would give you a PC that's a really high-end spec computer.
Right.
However, the NZXT was caught doing a lot of scummy things with it. Like, for an example, one of the main things was you'd go to rent a PC from them, and the part list they would have listed on their site is not what you would actually get. You would have something slightly under that spec. But it was so slight that that most people wouldn't really notice it unless you looked at it with a fine-tuned comb. However, it was there, it was prevalent, and it did actually happen. Another thing NZXT would do is they would bump the price on you in increments so you wouldn't notice as well.
Oh.
And the scummiest part of it all, in my opinion, is the fact that in the terms they would kind of hide it in a sense, but it would be there. It would be there to where any lawyer could see it. Average consumer probably wouldn't even know what it meant and or recognize it. But if you left something on their drives when you would go to return the PC, legally they can sell that to third-party advertisers.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So, NZXT, garbage company, will not buy any of their products anymore, even though I've only bought a case from them, like, years ago. But still, I bought a product from them, never again, and I could probably never recommend them, like, as a systems integrator or a manufacturer. Because that's scummy. And NZXT gets what they get now. But, that's what I mean in terms of, we need to hold these companies at accountable for their bullshit. Because, yes,
Okay,
we
Death
depend
Corps.
on... Oh, okie dokes.
Hello, Damien.
Sorry. Continue,
Oh, hello.
continue, buddy.
That's all good. But, yeah, we need to hold them accountable. Because, yeah, we depend on their services, but they depend on our money at the end of the day.
They do.
We pay their hedge fund. We pay their hedge fund and we pay their salary. Vote with your wallet, folks. Anarchy. That's what I like causing. I like causing chaotic good. Chaotic good things to happen. But anarchy is a plus.
I like cake.
You like cake? I also like cake.
What favorite cake flavor is the flavor your cake is in?
Chaos where?
I like
chaos.
chocolate.
I like strawberry.
Strawberry shortcake.
Death Corpse, how about you? PC or console?
Oh.
Man. PC, obviously. That's fair. That's fair.
PC, obviously.
Why would you purge the
I
chaos?
support the mysteries.
That's fair. That's fair.
Chaos.
Man, this would be the perfect time to have that one really angsty viewer hear me out in here.
Oh man.
So you can hear their viewpoint on why they think console's better than PC.
If only Hear Me Out was here right now. We'll never see them again.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but console best.
Console. I mean, that's fair. That's fair
I'm a
too.
Death Corps officer, member of the Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40k universe.
Warhammer's a good game. I was recommended Warhammer. I never got into it though.
I recommend your Warhammer.
But here's the thing. Just because you're in the Imperium doesn't mean that chaos is inherently evil. Chaos works with the Imperium a lot. After all,
You gotta be careful when you say evil.
it's not heresy if you look at any of the frickin'
heresy.
Like, after all, if you look at anything that the Emperor has made, it was made from chaos. If you look at any Space Marine, they are technically chaos beings.
I'm getting things tossed at me. Death Corps, are you having fun dropping stuff on top of me?
I am no heretic.
Hey,
I
watch
am
this.
a
We
true
can throw
player.
more stuff at me. What? Oh, there we go. Ain't it great? Oh my gosh, wait. Drink water, please. Okay. Here I go.
You gotta be careful when you say evil. You never know when Mermaid Man is start losing it. Evil!
Alright, drank water.
What?
Tasted very irony. Ow!
That's pretty ironic.
Well, it tasted irony because I've been biting my bottom lip all night and I'm pretty sure it's bleeding now.
Maybe you shouldn't do that. That seems kind of dangerous to your health.
It's called nerves.
Okay,
It's called
then just
anxiety.
Death Corpse,
okay,
quick.
then get nerves of steel.
Redeem a Shiny Rose 2.
Wait, what? Oh! I see it now.
Get nerves of
There
steel.
you go. Better, little buddy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't fixed the skirt and stuff yet, so that's not shiny, but the rest of me is shiny.
Oh yeah, never saw your legs, by the way.
Well, you can't see them as shiny rose. Sorry, they're not shiny.
Damn.
They don't come in shiny.
No shiny legs?
No shiny legs,
God
not
damn it.
yet. I have to color them.
I want my money back.
What? You didn't even give me money.
I still
At
want
least
it
long
back.
legs? Oh yeah, I'm taller than Tom actually.
Yeah,
It's
Tom's
actually-
short.
Oh my god. So, it's funny you mentioned that, Alex. There was a thing. So,
Oh, no.
one of the first times I messed with the scammer, it was for one of the Life Alert scams.
Mhm.
And they'd be like, yeah, you know, it's free and things like that. And I told them, I'm like, wait a minute. So do you serve to Canada? And they're like, no, unfortunately, we don't serve to Canada. I'm like, I want my money back. They're like, but sir, it's free. I'm like, doesn't matter. I want my money back. Give me my money back. But they're like, sir, you didn't pay. I'm like, no, doesn't matter. I don't care. Give me my money back. The past 5 minutes of me hearing you, I've been charging you the whole time.
What are you? What are you, like a... They go, what are you, a lawyer?
That's when I would have said yes.
You would too.
I would have been like, yes, actually, I am.
I
I'll give
should
me my money
start
back.
charging for listening to people.
Oh my god.
Don't do
That's...
that.
That's called being a therapist.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're
Or-
right.
Or in some people's cases, a hooker.
Oh my
Sometimes
god.
people buy hookers just to listen to their problems. Because they have way too much money on their hands.
And not a
You know-
therapist in sight.
I would like
Yeah.
to hire a hooker to play Magic the Gathering with her.
God damn it. Just how did you spend your day? Oh, playing Magic the Gathering with a hooker, of course. I have
Yeah.
much money in my hands.
The hobby's expensive enough as is.
Yes,
What's like 50 bucks more?
You mean like $150 more, my guy?
Come on,
Well,
they don't charge that much for
I was-
playing cards.
I was gonna say that
They probably
that kind of varies. That varies from hooker to hooker.
Mm-hmm.
I would charge 150. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Not for Alex. He gets the homie discount.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to keep your socks on, my guy.
That's why I have thigh highs. But according to Maddie, they're not the same thing, so that's gay.
Thigh highs do not count!
I'm gonna have to be inclined to agree with the homies here, / Maddie.
Actually, what was the quote again? Hold on.
Hey,
Uh,
hey Tom.
Yes.
So, if you're kissing the homies goodnight and you're wearing thigh highs, is that gay or is it straight?
It has to be socks.
You heard the man.
if it's
What
not
if
gay
they're
if you're wearing
sock
socks.
stockings?
But
Like
what-
they're
what
still
if-
Nope,
to your
it's
knee,
just
but
socks.
they're
Just socks. Only socks. It only counts for
what
socks.
if it's
No
what if
socks,
it's
no.
thigh-high socks though?
Nope, just socks.
It's not gay if you're wearing socks. Yeah, that's why I wear socks whenever me and Alex do it. He likes the feel of them too. Thigh highs and
Oh,
socks aren't the same thing, honey. You're gay. That's what she said.
That's what you.
Hey, I got a
he,
Nergigante
she,
gem.
They said.
And there's another
Me.
quote that Alex said, but I shouldn't say on stream.
Please don't.
Oh.
Because it's not being gay, it's called being homosexual. He's right, that is homosexual, my guys.
I'm good.
I just
Hold on.
got smacked.
I'll drop the quote, and so you guys will know.
Yeah, you can't say that quote on stream.
Also, you didn't even quote it right.
Oh my god.
That's when Alex repeats it, and Cheesecake goes, "No, no, no!"
Don't repeat it, my guy. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Oh no, I won't do it live. Don't worry.
Tom, are you dying? Are you sleepy?
Yeah, what's out?
Ow.
See, I was having fun today because it's like, this is the kind of topic that I
God
enjoy.
damn it.
Anything electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics is a fun topic for me.
I was
noticed.
hoping it'd cheer you up.
Yeah. So at first I was a little meh during the beginning,
Mhm.
but Nightly just started. I started hearing Nightly's reasoning why console's better than PC, and I'm just over in the
Just
back
have
of
to shut
my
him down.
but in the back of my mind I'm just thinking that's not how that works.
Hello,
Oh, that could be
fishing.
even
Welcome to
better.
the stream.
No, the best part is I knew it would get you. I was like, yes, yes, Lord.
I'm just like they both work. They both a controller works on a PC and a console.
Well, that's
I'm like,
the
no, that's
thing.
not how that works.
For PS4 and 5 controllers, they didn't work for a while.
And now they do.
For a while, now they do.
I feel like
And then
anything that you have a USB to, you can usually plug and play. It's not my fault that some things want to be Bluetooth.
Well, that is true for the
I like
most part.
cords.
There are some things that aren't necessarily plug and play. Like for an example, if I were to, this actually is true, and I don't know why it doesn't work the way it should.
Yeah, that was the argument that Synth was making, fishing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is very much true. That was one of the points that I made because it used to be the other way around, where you could build a PC for cheaper
Mm-hmm.
and then just play games on it that way, and just kind of have like one big box that did everything, the great big box of everything. But then eventually, as prices went up for PC during COVID, it started to slowly shift. So for all those who want to blame expensive PC parts on the manufacturers, it was mostly because of COVID, and the PC manufacturers got away with it. So blame both of them.
Yeah, that's fairsies.
And what's even scummier though is as PC manufacturers started to feel the burn from COVID being over, they started to lay people off instead of lowering their prices.
Oh lord.
Yep. Asus laid off over, I think it was like 500 people in a month. Yeah, garbage. Hot garbage.
Yeah.
What color of hot garbage?
That's why I always tell people, I'm just like, vote with your wallet. If you don't like
Yeah.
something that a company's doing, don't pay for it. And we need to hold all these
Yeah.
people accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, I'm a hypocrite because I still buy most of the Pokemon games that come out. Hello, Death Corpse. It's funny for me, you all talking about what's cheaper and what's not. Meanwhile, I have to see if my soul can be used as a bargain chip to even cost the idea. Not the product, not the whole package, not even a console, but the idea of thinking about buying consoles or a new PC. Jesus.
Yeah. Like, if you look at my setup, Death Corpse, right? A lot of people are like, oh my god, you have, like, so much money. No. I don't have... It was all over the course of saving. It was the course of time, and a lot of course of, like, effort and research before I got the setup that I have.
Yeah, I got my setup through kind of just dumb luck and circumstances. It kind of worked out, though, because money that was lost is equals to how much this PC did cost. So, fairsies, all mine. Here's a story behind my PC, but we won't get into that. Moral of the story is PC's mine. I'm broke
Yeah.
as a joke, but I sure do have a nice setup. And, you know, I have a kind enough father to help me with my setup because he was looking at my setup and he's like, this is sad. Please, Lord, let me fix it.
This is not a setup, that's a setup.
Yeah, he looked at me and he was like, alright, when we move, I'll buy you 2 monitors and a monitor tree. And that was one of the deals for me coming to Texas, because we were originally Californians. So one of the deals for coming to Texas was he'd help upgrade my setup a little bit. So I was like, I mean, yeah, broski, I'll buy you. What a quote. I mean, yeah, he technically did buy me into coming to Texas. He promised a few other things and then went back on his word. But you know, we got him back on his word.
The other thing of it too, though, is like,
Ow.
I'm hoping that as the console consoles start to catch up and like PC manufacturers start to see them like get exploding in popularity, maybe we'll see prices go down.
Bribery,
Side of
yes, pigs. I mean,
Competition's always a good thing.
isn't the Switch the Switch 2 supposed to be like $400 or something ridiculous?
Yeah, funny enough, it's supposed to actually match the Steam Deck. Because Nintendo saw the blow up of the Steam Deck. That's the thing. Nintendo thinks that they're like, oh, we can make our console really, really cheap, people will buy it. That's not always the case. Because sometimes people say things... Sometimes people see that and they're like, okay, what can the Steam Deck actually do compared to the console? Like, compared to the Switch. And vice versa, you know what I mean? And they compare them, and like I said, they vote with their wallet. Which is what I prefer to do. Like, if I see a good product...
I'm probably gonna end up with the Switch 2, but probably not for a couple years.
Don't do it.
No, I want it to be vetted, but if I don't have to upgrade, I'm not gonna. But if it's like I can't play my Switch games without upgrading, then I'm gonna wait a couple years and just go ahead and do the upgrade.
And the thing of it too is
And
that
then we'll do
if
funny stuff to the Switch.
if the Switch 2 comes out and is just
Electric
a carbon
Boogaloo.
clone of the Switch, I'm not buying it.
Right? I wouldn't want it either. I'd only like if it turns out like it's the DS to the DS
The
Lite,
new
I'm just
3DS?
gonna be like broski.
To be fair, the DS Lite was just so much better, though.
I mean it was, but the DS
It was
still
less
worked.
clunky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the DS is the same as the DS Lite.
The DS Lite was just so much nicer.
It was
It's-
nicer. As someone who's played both, it was nicer. I've done side by side comparisons. Unless you got a refurbished DS, it just wasn't the same. So she'll be like Overwatch 1.5. Sorry, Overwatch 2, same console as before, just slightly bigger. Mark my words and bury me with them. You know what? I kind of have to agree. I'm not expecting the Switch 2 to be great with all the moves Nintendo's making. I mean, Pokemon's been making some interesting turns with the new Legends Arceus games. But all the other moves from Nintendo, I don't know. I'm not very impressed. Mario Kart 10. It's Mario Kart 8, but with the number 10. Yeah. Like,
I love
they
that
might
one.
as well just revamp the old Mario Karts all the time and stop, like, selling us more. Like, we don't need more and more Mario Kart. We just need Mario Kart with some updates.
I know
Which
what
really
the,
is what these numbers are. But we don't need the numbers. Just name it Mario Kart / console. There you go. Mario Kart for the Switch. Duh. Don't need a fancy number.
I mean, I know what the, before, when the Switch 2 was first getting released, Nintendo was making some bold claims about the, some of the hardware that's going to be in the Switch 2. Like, they were claiming that the Switch 2 is going to have essentially the same GPU and a lot of the same hardware that the PlayStation 5 had.
I just can't believe it.
Exactly, which is bullshit. And the reason why that is do you know why the PlayStation 5 needs to be plugged in?
Because it takes a lot of power.
It's a very, very demanding piece of hardware.
Right.
Now, if that was the case, and the Switch 2 is going to have the same hardware as the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, that would
Not
mean
gonna happen.
that would mean one of two things. One, it's going to be a mostly stationary console. Or two, Nintendo has figured out some kind of magical unicorn-like substance in a crater somewhere, and that's what they're using to make their new lithium batteries. And it's so secretive that no corporate entity, not even our FBI or Secret Services, have the access to this technology. And then Nintendo's gonna take over the world using this unicorn-like substance that came from a meteorite somewhere. And
But
somewhere...
what about the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
What about the Dragon Balls?
Yes, that's what Nintendo did. They found all 7 Dragon Balls and they wished for the substance to be reality, and only they can have access to it.
What about the Dragonborn?
You're right.
But or the battery life is gonna be complete shit, and it's gonna have the same battery of the Switch, if not a little bit better. and with
Like,
dedicated
here's the thing,
hardware.
the Switch, like, even then, the Switch was, like, it's just bad. Like,
Don't
I
insult
love the
my
Switch. Okay, it can't even run Arkham Knight.
Look, I know, but like,
It is potato!
hold on, hear me out.
Potato!
Do you know what could run Arkham Knight? A PC.
I'm not done
A
with the hear me
PlayStation.
out.
Alright, so did you guys know that there's a lot of dating sims on the Switch?
Yes.
This is not
So,
saving you.
So you see, on PC there's plenty of dating sims, but there's some of them are Switch exclusives, and you sure I could pirate them, but why do that when I can give the creators of the dating sim my money, so they keep
Yeah.
making more dating sims that I like.
Yeah.
So you see, the Switch is kind of like the PS Vita with dating sims.
Yeah.
And my point here is that dating sims are good on the Switch.
Uh-huh.
And not all of
Okay.
them are cross-platform. Some of them you can only get on the Switch. Some of
Also,
them only
but
the
hear me
good
out.
version is on the Switch.
Hear me out.
I'll hear you out though.
Sony is also a Japanese console, and it also has a lot of dating sims on
No,
it.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know
Actually,
why?
it
You
does.
know why? Because I've looked.
Why?
I've
Oh,
looked
no.
for Otomes. They're all based.
They
for
are there.
boys.
Well,
No, they're on.
so what you're
The
saying
ones on
then?
the Switch are so much easier to find. They're just in your face. Also,
So what
you
you're
need
saying-
a PS5 for some of those games you're talking about nightly.
Actually, no. They all said 4 for what I saw, and they were on sale recently. That's
What
how I
were
know they exist.
What were they nightly?
You think I actually look at them?
Ugh. I know
Okay, I
the
didn't-
names.
What you're saying then is the Switch isn't good, but the games for the Switch are good.
Even then, like, here's the thing. When Skyrim came out on there, it lags. Like, lags. Why is
Yeah.
Skyrim lagging on the lowest
hold
quality?
So
And it
last
already
time
doesn't have the
someone
best of
found all
quality.
76 Dragon Balls wish for Konami to survive without Hideo Kojima. Shenlong said fuck off and left without giving them the wish. Good lord. But, yeah, the dating sims on the Switch are really good. Some of them are on Steam, and there's some Steam dating sims that are, you know, only on Steam. But the ones on Switch tend to just be better, nicely made, and I quite enjoy it. The only other dating sims I've really seen are on the, like, PS Vita and stuff. But, now that I, have the Switch, which is just a larger PS Vita, sorry Switch, with removable Joy-Cons, like, guys, they made this before, PlayStation made it. Anyways,
Yeah, kinda.
now that they have their own PS Vita, they got so many otomes, and it is a beautiful time to be a girl and be alive.
So what you're like again? So because the Switch games are okay. The Switch
Mhm.
games are pretty
Mhm.
alright. However, the Switch in itself is nothing to really brag home about,
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion. Because
Yeah,
at the
the
end
Switch
of the
is
day,
a mediocre console. It just has some really nice games on it.
the titles on it are good, but
Tom, are
the-
you asleep?
No.
I
But
don't
the,
believe this, man.
but
Bruh.
the console itself was outdated from the moment it was released.
Mhm.
Fun fact, not a lot of people believe me on that. But if you look at the specs on the Switch, like you actually get into the specs, those specs were out. Didn't the Switch come out? What year did the Switch come out again? I think it was like what, 2018, 2017? Am I right? Sound about right, guys?
I don't know, man.
When did the Switch come out? When was the Switch released? The Switch was released 2017. Okay, I was right on
Yeah?
that. Yeah, the hardware for the Switch came out in like 2015.
Oh.
It was already 2 years outdated. So that's why but the reason why the games work so well on the Switch, some do. Keyword some do. Keyword some do. Some, not all. The reason why some games highlight some work well on the Switch is because they're specially compiled for the Switch and the architecture, and it just kind of works. Now, when you have a demanding game that's designed for the Switch, i.e. Hyrule Warriors, which I bought on release, and you try to play it on the Switch, you'll notice a lot of chugging, a lot of problems, a whole lot of chugging.
Yeah.
I'm really salty with that, by the way, because
Fire
Breath
Emblem
of the
Three
Wild,
Hopes is kind of chuggy too.
yeah, it's so bad, and it makes me a little salty because I was so excited for Hyrule Warriors as a big Zelda fan, and I saw how well Breath of the Wild ran. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to like play like between a bunch of characters and kick some ass and really like stick it again, and you know what I mean, heck that guy. But the moment you get more than 5+ enemies on your screen with Hyrule Warriors, your game goes from 30 frames, which is already kind of unbearable because I'm really spoiled with the 165 hertz on my monitor.
Jesus.
It goes from 30 frames to 15 frames to maybe 10 frames if you try to keep fighting the enemy, and it's just not an enjoyable experience. So I emulated the rest of that game. I said, you know what? Heck, Nintendo, I know I bought this game on the Switch, but I want to play this game and I want to make my money's worth. So I'm going to take this game, put it on my shelf to never be touched again, and I'm going to emulate the shit out of this game.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
Pix is low-key excited that Sony's working on a portable again. A little late,
Yeah,
but excitable
portable.
for a potential PSP sequel. Death
Yes,
Corpse,
yep, yep.
Mom, can
Pretty
we have
small penis.
Breath of the Wild at home? No, honey, we have Breath of the Wild at home. Breath of the Wild at home, Genshin Impact.
Breath of the Wild.
But yeah, I'm also excited that Sony's making another portable. Because I liked all of Sony's portable consoles to death. The PSP was my childhood. Eventually getting the PSP Vita, like when on release, I got that as well. And everyone's just like, but you have a gaming PC. I'm like, doesn't matter. I grew up with the PSP, damn it. I want to play my PSP games again, but new and remastered. Not to mention, I was also excited because Ratchet and Clank came out. They had their Legacy Edition for the PSP Vita, so which I did buy. I bought and I beat the first one again for the third time on the PSP Vita, and then I played Going Commando.
Oh, Going Commando!
Yes.
Sometimes
classic.
My
feel like
childhood!
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like
beat
whenever
that.
they're making up sequels for these these consoles, they just make up words. Because seriously, what the heck is Vita supposed to mean?
I don't know, man.
I think.
Well, no, because for a lot of those, right, they actually do have meanings. They take for a lot of those things for PlayStation specifically, right? It is mainly a Japanese-based one, and they try and, for some odd reason, combine Japanese with English and Latin. What are you trying to do? Pick a language.
Lord.
Hey, Vito, it's Vita. Vita, what's up? How you doing? I'm Italian now. Cause
Oh, God.
plumbers, see?
I know why they named it Vita. I looked up the meaning of it, and I remember that was a big thing when the Vita came out. A
What?
biography or autobiography. A lot of people
Sounds
wanted a
weird.
reboot to the PSP, but they never got one. A lot of people loved the PSP, me included. And the Vita was supposed to be an autobiography of a bunch. It's supposed to be like a revamp of a bunch of PSP games and a bunch of PS3 games at the time, which is why it was built the way it was. Because it's also designed to play PS3 games.
As I said, combining languages.
Yeah, that's what that is. It didn't exactly translate all that well.
Yeah.
I don't know how to translate.
Me neither.
Also, another one for languages and stuff like that. Xbox, funny enough, they actually do try and go with language.
I believe that. Yeah, but I'm excited that Sony's gonna.
And then there's Nintendo. We don't talk about that.
Nintendo is just very much.
Nintendo is
codenames-
Nintendo things.
Look,
Their
man.
code names sound really cool, but the after the fact sounds kind of meh.
We're Nintendo. Of course we don't like
You
power.
better switch up that attitude.
Like, what was the code name for Switch? Nintendo
Remember,
Switch.
Nintendo doesn't love you. But I sure do love Nintendo anyways.
Who needs Nintendo Switch when you have Nintendo
Yeah, that's what it was.
Pitch?
So
Yeet it out the
the Switch code name was NX. Nix. I thought that was the cool. Yeah, Nintendo NX. Like, in my opinion, NX sounded way cooler than than Switch. Did you guys see the original Switch, or the leaks for NX, I should say?
No, I never did. I don't think I want to see what could have been.
It's, in my
I
opinion,
bet
it's
they
way
were-
cooler.
Yeah, I know. That's what I don't
In
want
my
to see.
opinion-
Don't show me.
In my opinion doesn't matter.
The NX
Mm-hmm.
looked so cool. So what they did, right? And their engineering behind it was chef's kiss. Amazing. They took a Wii U, right? They took the handheld portion of the Wii U,
Right.
and they went ahead and they actually sawed off the sides,
Mm-hmm.
and then they added like little like server rack rails on the side of it, and that was the original NX. And then from there they took a custom Android ROM. I'm pretty sure they used Honeycomb, if you remember Android Honeycomb, and they installed that on there. You guys don't remember Android Honeycomb?
Never heard.
I never heard of it.
What?
Never heard of it either.
Guys.
Not sure why you're so
Guys.
surprised.
Because
Right?
Honeycomb is... What do you mean? It's childhood.
No, it's
I
not.
grew up with Android Honeycomb. That's what it looked like.
I don't know about you. But I don't think anyone's
You're
ever heard
a
of an Android
honeycomb.
honeycomb.
Man, I was just built
Now,
different as
if
a
you
kid,
want to
that's
talk
all.
about something that's a honeycomb and childhood, there was honeycomb cereal.
Man, isn't that the analogy here? All the kids my age grew up with honeycomb cereal. Meanwhile, I grew up over here, Android Honeycomb. Reverse engineering Android Honeycomb. That was my childhood.
I grew up with a goofy dog mascot for Cookie Crisp. Now everyone else is like, oh well, it's a goofy wolf now. So like, bring the goofy dog back. It was there first. Why would you change that?
Yeah.
Ooh, Kikri.
crisp.
I remember it. I didn't realize that was a dog. I always thought it was a wolf. I never knew.
Like the original mascot was a dog.
My gosh. Wait, do we
And then
have
they
enough
changed-
time to do a tier list?
I don't know, do we?
We could do
Oh,
a
no.
console tier list. I'm sure all of us have played enough consoles to do a tier list.
I never
not
touched a
played
console
that
before.
many consoles.
Stop lying to me.
What do you mean? I've never
Yeah.
played a console before.
To be fair, I've really not touched that many consoles.
You have a 3DS, little buddy. Now shut up.
Imagine having a 3D.
Sorry, but that's a portable.
have a 4DS.
Console.
I have only ever played on SNES, GameCube, Wii, PlayStation 3,
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo DS from Lite to 3DS, and Switch. That's
Huh?
it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wii was peak when it comes
Ooh.
to consoles.
The way
I'm the
was
perfect
big.
one. These are all old consoles.
Oh, you found a console one?
Yes.
Well, I want just. Let me see. Does
There's
it
a
have up
pretty-
to the Switch?
It does.
That should be fine.
That's probably the
then.
latest one on there.
Oh
Not
no!
PS5.
Oh my goodness! We're making a tier list. Where is it?
I don't even know what this one is. Okay, yeah, these look like mostly Nintendo. These are mostly Nintendo, my guy.
Let me. There's a couple of oddball ones on here.
Yeah, but we don't want mostly Nintendo.
Let me see here. How many Nintendo ones are on here? Hold on, let me look for another one.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
This is a pretty all-arounder. I mean, yeah, it's mostly
Okay.
Nintendo again, but at the same time, it has a PS5 on here. It has a lot of current things on here.
Let's look at this.
100 plus consoles. That one could be fun to do.
Oh man.
I think we should do this one.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think you gotta do
yeah.
that one. I think you gotta do that one without me though. I'm getting kind of tired already.
I believe in you. You can
I
can
say-
last
I-
30 minutes.
I'm getting a little
I
brain
say
drain.
already. It's already 5:22 in the morning.
Oh my god. Should we
Yeah.
not do the tier list and stop the stream?
I
here
say we do it
instead,
another
guys?
day.
I say
Yeah,
we do
alright.
it
Still another day.
another day.
Oh my
I'm
god, poor
starting to
Tom.
feel like my brain is
We
starting
we
to
do the
nope out.
Okay. Well, with that,
Yeah.
everybody, I guess we will end the stream here because our dear co-hosts are dying. I'm thinking.
except for
I'm
me.
dying.
I am awake. Don't let me in with them.
I was gonna say, I am more than awake. I'm ready to do this tier list.
You slept the
Nightly.
entire time before the podcast, alright?
Yeah.
Nightly. What time do you get home from school normally?
3.
Or
Let's start moving the podcasts from 9 your time to 7 your time.
that's 2 hours earlier.
So from
Yeah.
3 my time to 1 my time. Alright.
Yeah.
Think.
Would that be better or easier for y'all?
Oh yeah, probably.
Probably.
Very likely.
Okay, we'll do that from now on.
Woo!
With that, I hope you guys have a fantastic cheesecake time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And with that, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Kick, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you really liked me, and if you super duper liked me, give me a donut. Yes, please, maybe not. It's okay. With that, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!
On Dragon Ball Z.